They say leadership is when you make somebody to do something because he or she wants to do it. It's with the words of Dwight Eisenhower that I want to say good morning to you. And if you're watching us at this hour, indeed, you should know you're very close and very dear to us. Thank you for watching the CRTV and for waking up with us. We're about to start 3 hours of an exceptional moment again today, and we hope you'll be with us for as long as possible. Now let's start by updating you though on what's been happening in and around the country in the past hours.
It was created by a September 2006 presidential decree. It has not stopped flying in turbulent zones.
About 1.2 billion CFA francs is the budget allocated to finance 95 public investment projects in FACO division for the 2017 financial year. Meeting in Limbe, members of the follow-up committee expressed the need for all the vote holders and other actors to step up efforts in technical collaboration.
All the contractors and all the relevant ministries to work together so as to improve the percentage of realization of the public investment budget so as to benefit the people.
Though the present execution rate, 1.23% physical and 0.44% financial, is lower as compared to last year, 1.67%. There is some hope, given that most projects will be awarded by the end of this month.
We really see the amelioration in the following and the implementation of projects.
For the situation of projects so far, the FACO Divisional Tenders Board is quite optimistic.
We have awarded 10 contracts. 6 have been signed.
Before the meeting rose, stakeholders resolved to remain committed and be regular at meetings to ensure that the level of execution and realization of the public investment projects for the 2017 financial year improves.
It is not a political meeting, but the appearance of these party supporters in their numbers in a social gathering shows their attachment to anything that has to do with the First Lady Chantal Biya. They are gathered to have their knowledge widened on the charity works of Mrs. Chantal Biya. He says the program consists of informing populations of enclaved zones of the country on the charity actions of the First Lady, and that they intend to go through the 10 regions. The association Jeunesse et Conscience pour le Président came with a theme of health experts from the Yaoundé Gynecological Endoscopic Surgery and Human Reproductive Teaching Hospital to brief the population about its offers. She says it was beneficial to her because amongst them are women who aren't disciplined. They also learned more about the Chantal Biya Foundation, the Mother and Child Center, the African Synergy, CERAC, and other works of the UNESCO's Goodwill Ambassador.
Our people, our population are far from Yaoundé, and they don't really know what the First Lady of Cameroon is doing for them. And this was the occasion for our women, for our young girls to learn.
The representative of the population pleaded with the association to tell the First Lady that Meyi Botho is anxious to experience just one charity act, for they have heard and are now waiting to see.
Students of the University of Bamenda, through this choreographic display, send a strong message of peace, unity, and national integration to the rest of the country.
I'm sure now the people have understood the message behind our choreography, which is to tell the Cameroonian that we still remain one and indivisible nation.
Another impressive display was that of Lily, mascot of the 2016 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon. Participating delegations at the All University Games also showcased Cameroon's rich cultural diversity when they marched past the ceremonial ground.
Toujours avec le vert jaune qui trône, symbole d'unité.
Prior to the start of the games, Minister Jacques Famendongo inaugurated a giant monument called the Town Crier at the heart of the university. After sharing snapshots with students, he, in the company of other top administrators, proceeded to the inspection of new sports infrastructure hosting the games.
The Mont des Oliviers parish in Ngaoundéré was the rallying point for hundreds of Christians of Église évangélique du Cameroon who came to celebrate what they term the rebirth of their church while welcoming their new leaders.
Very glad to notice that at the end of the election process in our church, we can say to God, you are wonderful.
The new team comprises 5 board members and 24 bureau members, headed by the former Secretary General Professor Jean-Samuel Henje Toya, who takes over from Isaac Batome after a 7-year term. The officiating minister, Dr. Tokam Gertrude, in her sermon, acknowledged the presence of 2 women in the Board of Administration of Église évangélique du Cameroon for the first time, while highlighting that a church built on a solid rock will always prevail in the face of religious tribalism and elitism. Referring to Jesus' resurrection in John 20, verse 19 to 31, Dr. Tokam Gertrude called on Christians to promote tolerance, inclusion, and development within the church.
It is a message of peace, of restoration, the message of new life.
I don't rely on myself, I rely on the Holy Spirit, because the strength with which I will be walking is the impulse of the Holy Spirit.
The special ceremony, attended by a host of dignitaries, including the government delegate to the Ngaoundéré City Council, Amadou Dawad, and the Secretary General to the Adamawa Governor's Office, Cyril Ivan Abondo, was spiced by heavy celebrations and choral singing. The next General Synod has been scheduled for 2019.
Institué en 1998 et entré en vigueur en 2002, le traité de Rome, qui crée la CPI, avait pour objectif de réguler la gouvernance mondiale, de prévenir et surtout de régler les conflits qui prendraient une ampleur internationale. Malheureusement, une quinzaine d'années après, cet objectif noble est remis en cause par nombre d'États africains. En fait, la CPI, par son fonctionnement, a fini par susciter la controverse autour de la qualification des crimes relevant de ses compétences.
J'insiste sur la notion de champ. Le champ de la justice pénale internationale, parce que dans ce champ se jouent des rapports de force, et ce sont des rapports de force qui, pour le moment, sont défavorables à l'Afrique. Et il est donc normal que l'Afrique cherche des voies et moyens pour trouver sa voie.
Crimes de guerre, crimes d'agression, génocide, crimes contre l'humanité, les États africains sont fondés de crier à l'injustice. Le professeur Amadou Monkaré est catégorique sur le cas libyen. Ce pays africain a bel et bien été agressé. Une posture que le professeur Nimpieba Tonan ne partage pas, car selon lui, l'intervention en Libye était conforme au droit international public porté par une résolution du Conseil de sécurité de l'ONU. Plutôt que de quitter la CPI, attitude assimilable à une fuite en avant, les États africains gagneraient à faire bloc pour une redistribution des cartes dans le champ de la justice internationale.
Les États africains doivent faire bloc pour qu'on admette certains États africains qui ont droit de parole au Conseil de sécurité et qu'on enlève cette histoire de veto, on peut dire majorité.
Même si les panélistes ne se sont pas prononcés de façon tranchée sur un éventuel retrait de la CPI, les arguments du retrait et du maintien se sont affrontés dans un esprit du savoir savant. Ainsi vont les débats scientifiques contradictoires. Ils sont très souvent porteurs de vérité.
Il s'agit de 2 voitures tout-terrain destinées aux postes frontières de police de Demsa et de Bardaké et de 6 motos, dont de l'Union européenne, partenaire privilégié du Cameroun dans la lutte contre l'insécurité. À cela s'ajoutent 7 portiques et des détecteurs de métaux, une dotation du chef de la police, du matériel de haute sécurité qui vient renforcer la capacité opérationnelle de la police camerounaise en lui offrant les moyens nécessaires à l'accomplissement de sa mission de gardien de la paix, de la sécurité des personnes et de leurs biens.
La hiérarchie apporte un supplément dans l'amélioration de nos conditions de travail. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes appelés à redoubler de vigilance compte tenu de la menace. Et le matériel vient à point nommé.
Bien que performants, ces matériels ne peuvent servir valablement que par la manière de les utiliser et la qualité des hommes en charge de les gérer. D'où cette recommandation du gouverneur Jean Abaté Edi, faites-en bon usage au service de tous et de chacun.
C'est l'université de Douala, à travers son institut universitaire de technologie, qui a servi de cobaye pour l'implémentation du processus d'enregistrement biométrique des étudiants bénéficiaires des 500 000 laptops offerts par l'État camerounais. Une méthode qui vient faciliter et accélérer l'établissement des listes des bénéficiaires de cette décision du chef de l'État. Les premiers tests se sont déroulés sous le regard du professeur Marcel Foudan Jodo, inspecteur général au ministère de l'Enseignement supérieur et représentant du ministre Jacques Famdongo.
Au-delà des 500 000 ordinateurs que le chef de l'État va donner aux étudiants, nous venons de nous rendre compte ici à l'université de Douala que le système d'enregistrement biométrique va totalement changer la gestion des étudiants.
Lors de sa visite d'inspection à l'université de Douala, l'émissaire du MINSUP, accompagné du recteur, le professeur François-Xavier et toi, ont profité pour préciser aux étudiants les conditions d'admission à cette liste de bénéficiaires. Et parmi ces conditions figure en principal le paiement intégral des droits universitaires pour l'année académique 2016-2017 en cours.
Ça permet d'engager un certain nombre de choses en termes de contrôle, en termes de paiement effectif des droits universitaires, en termes de gestion même des évaluations des notes.
Au-delà d'une méthode qui permettra d'éviter des doublons et la fraude, le logiciel qui sert à l'identification biométrique des étudiants servira également aux opérations de comptabilité dans les universités et grandes écoles attachées du triangle national. Démonstration a été faite en présence de la communauté universitaire de Douala, déjà en attente de ce qui paraît pour nombreux comme un rêve, un laptop offert.
Comme une seule famille pleine d'énergie, sous un même toit, soutenu par un mur solide, plus de 1000 jeunes s'offrent en spectacle. Par des mouvements d'ensemble, ils allient tradition et modernité. Le tout avec des séquences schématisées. Les chorégraphes présentent au public un pays triangulaire. Le Cameroun, qui a besoin de paix et qui compte sur le fighting spirit, mis ici en exergue par la mascotte des Lions indomptables du Cameroun, Lily.
On va aussi montrer aux Camerounais que non, Lily ce n'est pas le fait qui reste à Yaoundé. Lily c'est quelque chose qui est national, qui englobe tout le monde.
Le public est totalement acquis et ovationne chaque séquence. Une joie entraînée par le défilé de la vingtaine des délégations exprimant la diversité culturelle, savamment remise au goût du jour et magnifiée par des jeunes et des adultes.
Ces personnes qui sortaient des 4 points et qui sont réunies au centre, ça matérialisait en quelque sorte l'union nationale. Cette union nationale qui valorise notre pays et qui fait en sorte que notre pays soit un et indivisible.
Chaque université faisait le maximum pour représenter non seulement la région dans laquelle elle vient, mais en plus de cela, les 9 autres régions du Cameroun.
Le tout va se dérouler sous l'œil vigilant des gardiens de la tradition de la région haute des Jeux. Leur poignée de main avec le ministre de l'Enseignement supérieur témoigne de leur adhésion à l'événement. La culture est donc un socle sur lequel s'est bâtie l'unité. Ces traces sont restées sur le campus de Bambili. Il s'agit de cette statue inaugurée par le professeur Jacques Famdongo et qui symbolise la paix.
If I say désir, plaisir, souffrir, do you know what I'm talking about? If you're a connoisseur, you'll know I'm talking about Baby Black, one-time icon of Makossa, who died in a tragic accident many years down the line. Now, in December 1986, would you remember exactly where you were? Like, would you remember if something awesome happened? Because that's where I'm taking you to. I'm taking you back to 1986 in December when different artists, powerful ones and of different backgrounds, came together to sing and remember Baby Black. And you will recognize some faces, and I'm sure you'll be like, wow. Now, if you remember that moment, this is a recall for you. If you don't, this is a discovery for you. Please, it's Retro Clip on Hello Cameroon.
Cherche l'amour. Tout le monde aime l'amour. Tout le monde pleure. Oh, tout le monde chante, yeah. Tout le monde a besoin d'amour. Les choses de la vie, c'est pas facile. Amour, désir, plaisir, c'est pas facile. L'argent, l'amour, la belle vie, c'est pas facile. La femme idéale, l'homme idéal, c'est pas facile.
Adio Bebe Black, a great mind never dies. He died many years down the line, but thanks to his songs and also thanks to colleagues and friends who have him here, who keep remembering Bebe Black, Désir, Plaisir, Souffrir, and many, many wonderful songs. Cameroon is blessed with talents, and on Hello Cameroon, it makes us really happy. It gives us definition to be able to remember some of them. Now, let's take you to the stars, because I know that some of you are sitting there waiting to know what your star says before you get out of your bed. Please, this is your time. Joyce Abigail has been putting in place a package for you, and this is it.
Welcome to your horoscope, where we start with the first born of the zodiac, Aries. Those of you born between March 21st and April 19. There are two ways of spreading light. It's either to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. Aries, make a choice today. A famous Aryan, Eric Maxime Choupo-Moting. That is a Cameroonian football star. Taurus, second born, good morning. Those of you born between April 20th and May 20th. Taurians, someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Remember today that someone's opinion of you doesn't have to become your reality. Talking of a Taurian star, who else but Stéphane Biya? And of course, that is a Cameroonian football star. Gemini, third born, good morning. Those of you born between May 21st and June 20th. Gemini, there are three things that will restore your good spirits today. A beautiful sound, sights, or smells. Do well to find yourself in such an environment today. A favorite Gemini is Achille Emana. It takes us to Cancer, the fourth born. Good morning to you, born between June 21st and July 22nd. Cancerians, today, remember that the mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work unless it is open. So great thoughts come from the heart. A famous Cancerian, Leonard Kwete. Bringing us to Leo, good morning. Those of you born between July 23rd and August 22nd. Leo, there are no shortcuts to anywhere worth going to. A famous Leo, Joel Matip, of course, that is a Cameroonian football star. Now we talk Virgo. Good morning to you, those of you born between August 23rd and September 22nd. Today, remember that life consists not in holding good cards, but in playing those cards you hold well. A famous Virgo, Frank Etunde. Bringing us to Libra, whose symbol happens to be the scales. Good morning, those of you born between September 23rd and October 22nd. Libra, it is best if you stay in your intuition, if you rely on what you feel, and even though it may not make logical sense, operate today with your instincts. It takes trust. Famous Libra is Marvin Matip. Wondering who he is? He is a Cameroonian football star. It takes us to Scorpio. Hello Scorpio, good morning. Those of you born between October 23rd and November 21st. Remember today that your life has the potential to be a wondrous journey filled with exciting moments and astonishing experiences. It can be a thrilling ride if you are open to exploring all that is available to you. A famous Scorpio is Benjamin Mokanjo. That, of course, is a Cameroonian football star. Hello Sagittarius, good morning to you. Did you know your symbol is the archer? Those of you born between November 22nd and December 21st. Life does not have to be regarded as a game in which scores are kept and somebody wins. If you are too intent on winning, you would never enjoy playing. Think about that. The star that represents the Sagittarius is Michel Ngadu Ngadu. Capricorn, good morning, Tenban. Your symbol is the goat. Those of you born between December 22nd and January 19th. This is what your stars say. Kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. A famous Capricorn is none other but the Cameroonian star Fabrice Ondoir. Aquarius, 11th born of the house, your symbol is the water bearer. Those of you born between January 20th and February 18th. Aquarians, wisdom is the reward you get for a lifetime of listening when you are preferred to talk. A famous Aquarian is Carlos Kameni. Remember him? Pisces, last but not the least born of the house, your symbol is the fish. Those of you born between February 19th and March 20th, good morning. Good people are good because they've come to wisdom through failure. Remember today that good people are good because they've come to wisdom through failure. So today, remember the things you've been through, sit back and ponder over them, wake up from your mistakes and ride on passions. A famous passion is Muhammadu Idrisu. Does that ring a bell? Well, that is a Cameroonian star. That is it as far as your horoscope is concerned on this day. Thinking of those of you born today and saying happy birthday to you. Let's talk your positive qualities. You are a goal-getter. You are a persistent person. You are a strong fighter. And you are an intelligent person. If you're born on this day, those are your positive traits.
Thank you very much, Joyce Abigail. And if today is your birthday, as she did say, please grab the day and run with it. I'm thinking of a few persons who indeed have their birthdays today. And I want to say happy birthday to Stanley Fongod, to our colleague Rahul Samplis Minlo. Today is your birthday, guy. Hold it very dear to you and do just what your heart tells you to do. It's just 24 hours. After that, it's gone. Alima Ganjo, today as well is your birthday. Happy birthday, lady. Shufai Blaise Sevidzem. I hope I didn't massacre your name. Happy birthday to you. And if you happen to be watching us, thank you for waking up with the CRTV. You're doing just well. It's also the birthday of 3 more persons, or 2 more, Pammy Jackson and Sifo Nubusi Tabifo Giselle. If it's also your birthday and I didn't call your name, don't worry. That's how the world is. It's very unfair at times. But take it with a smile. That's how it is, isn't it? Maybe next time I'll get your name, but that's our plan, to surprise you where you are and give you a smile. Grab the smile, run with it, share it if you want. If you don't want, it's your day, you know. We don't fight with babies. You're actually just 1 day old today. Now, while you're celebrating your birthday, do you know the Nguinang plant? If you don't, well, let's go discover this plant with Parfai, our regular resource person in our plant world slot, who is telling us today, once again, about the wonders we have in and around our homes and that sometimes we barely know. This is Plant World.
Welcome to Hello Cameroon of CRTV this Tuesday morning. You are waking up and meeting with some good information on medicinal plants. Here you find the Nguinang plant. You see, as I've always said, most of these plants, I show them to help people who stay around areas where there is no doctor. But that doesn't mean that only people within the rural areas use it. Even in town here, in urban town, so many people turn to these medicinal plants today. And here we are revisiting the Nguinang plant. I want you to understand that when you look at this plant, you know, it is of varieties. You have 4 varieties of this Nguinang. But this one, the active properties in this one are really heavy. Not only active properties, but the metaphysical, or call it spiritual properties in this plant, really heavy. Now, let us look at the plant well and the roots. You can see the roots heavy. You see? The tap root and the hair roots, they are all good. In most cases, as antibiotic, you use this. This is what you chop. I prefer that you pound it, put it in water, and you prepare to drink. It is good antibiotic. Very, very good for the management of, or the treatment of gonorrhea and the management of syphilis. When you take with water, it is good, but equally better with raffia palm wine, or even the up wine, if you live around areas like this. But areas where you don't have the palm tree, because you know with the palm tree you have so many varieties, you can use water. It is also effective. Boil this one very well and you take. It will also, as it's cleansing your system, it will also treat your filaria. This one is the one that is used mostly back home. To those who have filaria and they've gone to the lab and they tell them that no, they don't have filaria, but you find yourself, you scratch yourself internally, outside, and sometimes it comes out in lumps. There are instances where you get a stick or even your big pen and you write on your hand. You see the whole thing swells and you can read the writing. But when you go for your test, they tell you no, negative, of not seen anything. That has been caused with this. And that is why I was talking, or I did mention the spiritual properties of this plant. But I will not come to that. I want to dwell on the curative properties, what you can use this plant. If you have that type of filaria, or those type of issues, the best treatment is this one. Short, simple, fine to prepare. Take it, you slice. Put in a pot. When you cut like that, you put in your pot. Because back at home, even in town here, we use clay pot. You fry it well. Then it's black. You take it with manyanga. That is the black kernel oil. You lick. Take a tablespoon, or you take a teaspoon, mix with a tablespoon of manyanga. And you lick. And you can take the same quantity and you apply on your body. It may, or it is obvious that it will stain your nightie, because it is good to do it in the night so that in the morning you can get up, bathe, and you go to work. You take it, and I'm assuring you, it is a matter of days. You find your system, your body is clean, no more itches. And as you do that, you can equally do this. But in as much as this one is an antibiotic, it is also good. For today, hello fans, this, you can use this root as antibiotic to cleanse your system from gonorrhea, which I recommend taking it with palm wine because it provokes you to urinate. Then 2, you take this for filaria. But this one, as you take it, you know, filaria is also within the system, your blood system. You take it, it is going to flush it out well. In other cases, we give them to women who have itches within the vagina. They also take it. It's a good cleanser. So it is not only for men only, it is also good for women. Therefore, hello fans, this Tuesday morning, this is your gift. Filaria, venereal disease, itches. That's it for today. Hello. Bye to Hello Cameroon fans.
Oh, Papa, thank you so much. It's so much pleasure each time I listen to you and I watch you tell us about our environment and the wonders we have just around us. Today, you were talking about the Nguinang plant, and yes, thank you for being there each Tuesday for the CRTV and for our fans who stand by only to watch you. Now let's talk movies and a premiere that's about to happen in the city of Yaoundé. I have with me a movie producer, a writer, and also an actress. She's multifaceted, and that's a bit of what we'll be talking about today with Princess Doran Dem Fotabong. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, I'm good.
It's my pleasure to have you on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you.
All right. So do you want to tell me a little bit about this movie that you're about to launch, the Clash of the Rings?
Yeah. Clash of Rings movie is a special of its kind in the country. The kind that Cameroon have never seen before. And so special in the cast, the equipment used, and the story, including the costume. Very colorful, the kind of a movie that Cameroonians have been asking to watch. So I'm so happy that I'm blessed to change the fate of Cameroon cinema through Clash of Rings movie.
Do you want to tell me a little bit about the story, the setting? What's in a few words? What's the story? Where is it set? Is it?
The central message of the story is fight your battle in prayer.
Okay.
It's about this lady who is searching for the fruit of the womb, and out of frustration, a friend takes her to a river goddess where she gets pregnant mysteriously, and the baby turned out to be a thorn in her flesh.
And what's the message behind this production?
Yeah, we are
what was on your mind?
We are highlighting the powers of the Catholic priest in deliverance and healing, and also projecting the importance of the rosary in the Catholic Church.
Okay. And when and where is this launching going to take place?
The launching will take place at La Falaise Hotel, Yaoundé, this coming Saturday, 29th of April at 7 p.m. prompt.
Okay.
Yeah.
And any word to those you want to see at this event? Any special message of invitation?
Yes. Inviting the entire public that the movie is special. It is something that they can't afford to miss, so they should be there to watch.
Okay. Thank you so much, Princess Dora and Dem Fotabong, for coming. I won't let you go, though, without asking your comment on the film industry. It looks like it's just burgeoning at this point. It looks like it's just, there's a lot of work in the background, and for us in the media, we're struggling to have a bit of spotlight on that. But tell me about the movie industry in Cameroon. Are you satisfied when you do a production like this? Where next does it go to?
Yeah, for the moment, I can congratulate us that at least we are moving forward. There have been a lot of changes positively, but our main problem now is marketing.
Okay.
So we haven't got marketing agencies in Cameroon, but for Clash of Rings, we already got international market, and CRTV2 is much interested.
Okay. Well, CRTV is always
and
interested.
I equally want to appreciate my crew and cast, the production house, the work they are doing to train actors. Like, it's very special because, you know, like some other production houses, they have to get young people, trying to make them up to do elderly roles, but Clash of Rings is so special because we went to the field, we got the elderly cast, we trained them, and they actually delivered.
Okay, that's interesting. So please go watch the premiere of the Clash of Rings, and apparently it's an interesting story. So please go for it. Thank you so much for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you.
Sure, please keep updating us about the things you're doing.
Okay,
Princess
thank you.
Dora Dem Fotabong, have a beautiful day, and talk to you again maybe some other time.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right. I'm going to take you to Marwa because a while ago, please just sit with me. Just sit with me. Let me take you to Marwa, to where one of us, my colleague, you wouldn't know her, but I'll allow you to discover her because this is a special moment. She is a journalist, but she recently defined herself again as a gospel singer. She's been singing. If you know her on Facebook, you might have seen her singing there, but now she has an album on the market, and Bruno Donui was at the launch of this first album. Let's discover with him.
A crowd-pulling event, a first of its kind happening in Garwa. CRTV's Doris Batetato Ekwe at the launch of her debut album, Beauty of the Lord, in the gospel music genre. Everyone gets settled to get a bit of the masterpiece this journalist venturing into music has been working out the whole while. To accompany her and make the album launch more exciting are old booms in the gospel music who linked their support towards a sister and friend. Serving as opening acts, Loughlin first takes the mic for an Alleluia title, setting the audience in the right mood. Grâce de Gloire twists things up a little with a gospel sound in Makossa beats. Then came the moment, the spark, the splendor and grace in a pitch-perfect tune that the budding artist makes her grand entry, choosing to go with her song title, You Made Me, receiving a standing ovation from the crowds.
You made me. You fashioned me. You carved me.
When the artist took to stage, she performed more titles from the album Beauty of the Lord. It was an exuberance of emotions, piece after piece. Husband, pastors, faithfuls, and all other guests were all on their feet for a thriller of gospel worship. The already becoming celebrity had to take a short break for a shot of questions at her before coming back powerfully. Her stage comeback was with her lead single, Beauty of the Lord, for the album titled Beauty of the Lord. The starstruck audience couldn't resist the beauty and quality of the music but joined her on stage. The success of this album has been highly acclaimed by already trending artists in the gospel music genre.
The work is perfect. The job is well done. In fact, I was not expecting to see such a thing. And really, I was so amazed tonight when I listened to the work, to the music, to the songs, the tracks that she has produced. They are very wonderful. They are they are so great. It's mature.
Album Doris is very fine. Very, very fine. I love all music. Yes, I come to say welcome Doris in music Cameroon.
Doris Batetato Ekwe, through her struggles of realizing her dreams, got the unconditional support of the man of her life, her husband, Pastor Ekwe, who calls her work a masterpiece.
I am not surprised what has just happened. What we saw today, or what we heard today, is just a history, a story of her relationship with her God. And what I can say is I'm agreeably surprised. Just for the first album, it's like a masterpiece.
Colleagues and friends who watched her step-to-step development couldn't be prouder of her.
It's like a collective dream coming true. Not only her dream, but the dream of all of us, because we saw the passion she had right from the beginning. We used to watch her singing songs. We heard her singing songs in her office. We would ask her, Doris, when is the album coming out? And she would tell us, just be patient, you would see the songs. And this is a great day. We finally get to discover those precious songs we used to hear. So it's a dream come true for all of us, and we are very proud of her for that.
I found it very interesting. I happened to listen to the last song that she performed. It was wonderful. I appreciated the message in the song, the sound of her voice, and everything, and the music in the background. It was wonderful.
Being her first album launch, the budding newcomer into gospel music was overwhelmed with emotions with the turnout of events.
So elated, so happy, a dream come true. A dream which I thought was like far-fetched, a dream that seemed so difficult, rocky, but now I've been able to surmount the difficulties inherent, and here am I today. And I finally launched this album, The Beauty of the Lord. It's my pleasure, and I'm so grateful to God and to all those who helped me. My husband, my colleagues, the people of Garua, my family, everybody.
From the Nord Regional Station Manager of the CRTV, Bertrand Ayangma, Nord Regional Delegates, Divisional Officers and Mayors, the religious, friends and family, Doris Batetato Ekwe has the blessings and support of all. With all the support, the artist proves not to slow down as more is yet to be unveiled.
projects in the pipeline. I have songs in my repertoire, and as soon as God gives me the opportunity, as soon as I have the finances needed, I would go back into the studio for the second album. So watch out. It's going to be a bomb.
While waiting for more, we can continue to chant the beauty of the Lord with the album highly solicited and played across the country and could be gotten online for God's glory.
Indeed, it was an awesome moment. Doris Batetato Ekwe can only wish you a lot of success in that singing career that you have now started. Of course, she's still the journalist, singing and working in any other field quite goes together, and maybe even make her a much better journalist. This is a moment when we say hello to our colleagues in Garwa and around the country. If you are watching us, we have you here. Now let's talk health. Today is World Malaria Day, and it's the 10th edition, and we have with us Dr. Dorothy Fosa Achu, with whom we're going to talk a little bit more about how the day of today is going to be looking like. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine.
You're dressed all Malaria Day, this is awesome.
Yes.
Can I have your hat when you're done?
Of course, why not?
All right, so tell me about
pleasure.
this day. What is planned?
Actually, thank you first for having us.
Mm-hmm.
We've had a series of activities throughout the week because it's not just a day activity. Today is just going to be the climax with the commemoration in Yaoundé and in the other 9 regions.
Mm-hmm.
So the Minister of Health will be at Jega Palace Hotel at 2 p.m. this afternoon to give the main messages and to celebrate progress.
Your activities this year have been centered around what major messages?
We're just coming out from a major bednet campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of the main messages we are transmitting is that people should use the nets they received during the campaign.
Okay.
But in addition to that, we have other interventions which must be associated to the use of bed nets. That is addressing the main targets like pregnant women. We don't want to see pregnant women suffering from malaria.
Okay.
So we are asking them, as soon as you discover that you're pregnant, to visit the health facility where you will be treated. You're given preventive treatment, and you'll also receive a bed net if you do not have it. Even if you have, you'll receive an additional bed net so that your entire family is well protected.
Tell me about what would be your evaluation of the campaign against malaria over time? Are we winning? Could you situate us?
Yes, Pochi, I would like to say we are actually celebrating progress.
Okay.
Although the progress is not as much as we want, we are seeing a lot of reduction in malaria cases in the hospitals. A little over 5 years ago, we used to have one in every 2 cases presenting with malaria. But now less than a quarter of cases have malaria, and then the deaths also have reduced drastically. Okay. Initially, we're talking about 4,000 a year, but now we are far below 3,000, about 2,600 yearly. So the cases are reducing as well as the deaths.
Okay. Any message, though, for the parents who are, you're coming out of almost a week of activity, and I'm imagining that you should have something you still want to say before the day is over about fighting malaria.
Yes. Maybe after singing a lot about using of mosquito nets, we would like to say that not all fever is malaria.
All right.
We need to do tests if we are suspecting malaria, and that is done in the health facilities. And we are also calling on the health facilities to make these commodities available to the public. That is the rapid testing, so that they don't wait in long lines in the hospitals, and the treatment, which is highly subsidized and, of course, free for children under 5 years.
We'll never say it enough. If you suspect any health issue, you should go to the doctors and try to always go to them, no matter the apprehensions that you might have. Now, thank you so much, Dr. Dorothy Fosa, for coming on the program.
Thank you.
I wish you a wonderful day and a successful event today.
Have a great day, and
All
thank
right.
you very much.
Just stay with us, though, because right now we're talking eating healthy, which is another aspect of health. No chance for you to talk about health if you're not eating well in the first place. And Myra Abenondwa is right here. Hello, Mom. How are you?
Strange. Why are you calling me ma'am so early in the morning? No, not really. I don't mind. But it's just strange, like what she's calling me ma'am in the morning. But that's nice.
What are we eating healthy today about?
Parsley.
Parsley.
This one was actually recommended by you, so you should really do the yay thing. But when I actually researched on it, and I felt like you made a really good choice because it comes with a lot of beauty. As far as health is concerned.
Okay.
Now, I think you would like to understand that it's a herb that originated from the Mediterranean, that is southern part of Italy, Algeria, and Tunisia. And it has been cultivated by man for over 2,000 years, something that started medicinal and finally ended up in the kitchen like a spice. But the Greek hold it in very high esteem, the thing that traditionally to them it has been really important, and they have a myth that says it actually sprung up from the blood of a fallen hero called Archimedes, and ever since it was associated to death and destruction, but predominantly it is a tropical plant. Now, when it comes to diabetics, it plays a very, 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 very important role. Turkish traditional medicine back in the days used it to cure and control the disease. And recently, a research carried out at the Marmara Istanbul University also proved that there was great reduction in the blood sugar levels of patients that they tried on it. And so, parsley, it's something that you should really keep in your kitchen, in your refrigerator, and whether it's dry, whether it's fresh, it still does the magic. And it's excellent aroma in food. Can you imagine?
I have a friend who actually, when she said it the first time, she's the one who set me to take an interest in the parsley. She said, I make sure I put parsley in my mouth each day. If I don't put it in my food before I sleep, I put it in my mouth and I chew. And I couldn't believe, because it has, the taste is not the first time you put it in your mouth, you're like, I don't want to be chewing this every day. But by the time you read about parsley, you might want to. But maybe you want to tell us a little bit more about
Yes, arthritis steps in again, but that is because it has vitamin C and rich in beta-carotene content, and this makes it an anti-inflammatory, which is excellent in controlling the disease. If I mention that it has vitamin A, it's also going to help take out the uric acid from your system, and that's excellent in fighting the disease. Osteoporosis is something that happens due to depleted levels of calcium in your system, and you would be surprised that parsley could give you exactly that. Why? This is because you need to break down homocysteine, which is an amino acid, by using folic acid, and the parsley has exactly that. So you can imagine that apart from the dairy products, you have a good way of having or injecting some calcium into your bones and keeping them healthy forever and after. We look at the kidneys now. Yes, parsley also plays an important role in keeping them healthy. Now, the roots of the herb are very, very, very good in counteracting against this. You could also add the stems of the parsley into boiling water and drink just to cleanse your system every day.
Like tea.
I guess
but it's strong tea.
Like tea, like an infusion. It depends on you, how you want to look at it. We move straight away to the immune system. Like, if your immune system should be strong and ready enough to fight just about anything. And parsley can do that for you. And it has vitamin A. I'm coming back to vitamin A because that acts directly on your lymphocytes or your white blood cells. And we need those cells to be strong enough to be able to keep you up on the go. Chlorophyll comes with the richness in the green color, but it's extraordinary because it has antifungal and antibacterial qualities plus an extra adage. I would say it's a cousin antioxidant we need to detoxify and look good all the time. But if I stay on the other side of the balance, I would not be nice. This is the truth about parsley. It is quite negative somehow. If you're a pregnant woman, you want to be careful not to eat them in large quantities. If it's just like a spice in your food, great. But if you have to eat them in large quantities, you might just provoke uterine contractions and you might lose that baby. And that can happen at any stage of the pregnancy, so you have to be very careful. Now, point number 2 is if you're breastfeeding as well, you want to reduce the way you're taking parsley because it's not very good for you and the baby and the breast milk quality at the time. If you suffer from kidney stones, I know we said the roots can do the magic, but the plant is not very good for you. So you should be careful. It might just increase the pain. Plus, it makes your skin extra sensitive to sunshine. You might have rashes. It will increase your appetite. If you're sick, it's good.
And
you have to
stop.
eat. If you're not sick, you need to lose weight. It's not
and
fine.
At 7, we
All right.
stop because Patricia Leba-Matukson is here for the news, and we can't keep you out there waiting too long to get informed about healthy eating and healthy living in the process. You could go on the internet and get more information about parsley. You should. It's such an awesome plant. But it's news time.
Gracious morning and thanks for joining us for the 7 a.m. edition of the news. Officials of the Central and External Services of institutions under the Ministry of Secondary Education are meeting today to make an assessment of the 2016-2017 school year after the 5th sequence. The meeting to also prepare for the 2017 official examinations will take place at Government Technical High School, Colbison at 9 a.m. and will be chaired by Secondary Education Minister. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Jean-Claude Boichu, will today proceed with the reception of 660 low-cost houses, a school, a health center, and a commercial center at the Olembe complex in the Center region. The project, constructed by the Chinese government, falls in line with government's program to provide social amenities to the population of Cameroon. And today is World Malaria Day, with a call from the World Health Organization for accelerated scale-up of efforts to prevent malaria and save lives. The day is commemorated under the theme "End Malaria for Good." Louis-Georges Jipendi is now the new board chair of the Cameroon Airlines Corporation, Cameco. He takes over from Mefiri Umaru. Louis-Georges Jipendi was installed into his functions yesterday by the Minister of Transport, Edgar Alain Mebengo, at the end of an extraordinary board meeting in which Clarice Ashu was in attendance.
It was late Monday afternoon when the 10th floor of the Yaoundé Hilton welcomed Cameco's board members and then Transport Minister Edgar Alain Mebengo, announcing a rather unusual meeting. After a 1-hour in-camera session, Louis-Georges Njipendi Kwoto was presented to the press and subsequently installed as Cameco's new board chair, replacing Mefiro Umaru, current minister delegate of the Ministry of Transport, shone the door after barely 7 months at the Cameco board. The Minister of Transport said the new board chair would have to restore serenity within the carrier currently undergoing a tough phase characterized by restructuring, tailored after a 7-year plan drawn up by Boeing Consulting.
The main concern for me today is to express my high gratitude to the head of state for the very high esteem and the very great honor he did to my humble person.
Mr. Njipendi, who has degrees in public administration, law and political science, is expected to work closely with Ernest Tikum, a dynamic general manager who has been given a pat on the back for multiplying and ensuring the punctuality of domestic flights and for strengthening the company's fleet by recently buying 2 planes that had been on lease to Cameroon. The minister said government had already approved a 30 billion franc package to Cameco within the first phase of subventions and would drum up all necessary support for the healing process of the country's flag carrier.
Aerodrome inspectors from 24 countries across the globe are meeting in Yaoundé to review their notes on aerodrome certification. The workshop is organized by the Cameroon Civil Aviation Authority in partnership with the Federal Aviation Administration of the US of A. Luma Slim Davis now reports on the issues at stake in the meeting.
The civil aviation sector is of high significance, though complex, to the economic development of the nation. It is a sector where professional activities should constantly be made to adapt to changing realities. This certification workshop aims at that.
The government has already invested a lot in rehabilitation of infrastructure, equipment, and sometimes what we are saying, the weakest link for an airport to be certified is sometimes the procedures, the organization, the human resource. So what we are trying to gain from an administration like the Federal Aviation Administration, which is the competency is worldwide known, is just to gain again and hands-on on good procedures, good organization, good human resource management.
Workshop participants will be drilled on a variety of concerns which include regulatory responsibilities, promoting safety culture, and mandatory instruction markings, amongst others.
This workshop reinforces the International Civil Aviation Organization standards and practices for aerodrome certification, for airports, for civil aviation practices.
The workshop is holding about 5 years after the certification process began in Cameroon.
And an agricultural project which will make 3 crops, that's plantain, pineapples and oil palm, more competitive in the market has been launched. The Agricultural Value Development Chain project offers brighter perspectives for young farmers intending to take interest in the farming of these crops. Moiti Waifo Akonjang reports.
Plantains, pineapples, palm nuts. 3 cash crops cultivated by 45% of Cameroonian farmers. The dream of earning a decent living from these 3 crops can become a reality for young people thanks to the Agriculture Value Chain Development Project launched Monday. The project hopes to develop youth entrepreneurship and will benefit 242,000 people, 50% of them women. On a broader scale, the project will see the development of 1,000 rural roads, 30 warehouses, and 15 rural markets, thereby contributing to the creation of a sustainable agricultural base and strengthening food security. The 75.4 billion CFA francs project is based on the agripreneur model of the IITA and is financed jointly by the State of Cameroon and the African Development Bank. The 5-year project covers 5 regions, namely the Center, Southeast, Southwest, and Littoral. The ceremony to launch the Agriculture Value Chain Development Project also saw the installation of its coordinator and members.
And we take you over to the Northwest region where a group of youngsters and business persons yesterday, Monday, marched along the streets of Bamenda calling for the end of ghost towns. The young men and women say the ghost towns in the region has been very detrimental to their business. Julius Neba has details.
To send out a resounding message for their calls to an end to the ghost town phenomenon, the group, comprised of business persons, teachers and students, amongst others, chose to come out on a Monday, a day hitherto set aside for ghost towns in the northwest and southwest regions. No to ghost towns could be seen boldly inscribed on their t-shirts, while they carried placards with messages like "Dialogue is better than messages from unknown persons." No to ghost towns, our businesses are crumbling, and more. As they marched around some major streets in Bamenda, inhabitants stepped out of their homes and watched in curiosity. The group leaders say the challenges they have been going through left them with no choice.
The fact that schools are not going on
is enough reason. So if we keep adding injuries to wounds, it's going to take us nowhere. The state too has decided to see into all the problems. People took loans from banks, they have been unable to pay. People incurred money from Jange groups, they have been unable to pay. And this has rendered their families in a very miserable situation. So we are appealing on all Bamenda citizens to think twice on the issue of the ghost town and see how they can stand as one man and clear it off.
As the peaceful walk was going on, a good number of taxi drivers and commercial bike riders who did not heed to the call of a ghost town could be seen going about their business.
And news out of the country, far-right French presidential candidate Marine Le Pen has announced that she is stepping aside as leader of her National Front party. The move comes just a day after she reached the second round of the French election, where she will face centrist Emmanuel Macron. Ms. Le Pen told French TV yesterday that she needed to be above partisan considerations. Opinion polls suggest Mr. Macron is firm favorite for the second round, but Ms. Le Pen said we can win and that we will win and that France is approaching a decisive moment. And the world's first vaccine against malaria will be introduced in 3 countries, that's Ghana, Kenya and Malawi, starting in 2018. The RTS-X vaccine trains the immune system to attack the malaria parasite, which is spread by mosquito bites. The World Health Organization said the jab had the potential to save tens of thousands of lives, but it is not yet clear if it will be feasible to use in the poorest parts of the world. And let's talk sports, and we take you to Bamenda, where the University Games is ongoing, with the National Institute of Youth and Sports continuing to top the chart, followed by the University of Douala and the University of Yaoundé to Soir. For more details, Winston Lepka.
The theme of this edition, University Games 20 Years of Promoting Talents for National Development, Peace, Unity and the Emergence of Cameroon, projects sports as a vector of social cohesion.
We are training students to prepare their future to become strong citizens who will enhance development of our dear and beloved country, Cameroon.
To drive home this message, members of government and other important personalities sparked of euphoria at the Games Village in Bambili when they all assembled with students under a gigantic Cameroon flag to demonstrate oneness.
I feel very, very, very jealous with first the environment and the people who are ready to give us all the necessary assistance. We are well fed. And I mean, it's just so entertaining, interacting with the environment, with the people. It's quite beautiful.
To echo this far and wide, the choir of the University of Bamenda has been singing patriotism and solidarity as a unifying factor. While fans club of the participating delegations, through dressing and human graphic displays, paint a picture of diversified cultures with a common denominator, national unity.
I'm very delighted to see these students who are enthusiastic, very dynamic, and very committed to enhance, to develop our dear and beloved country. I know that they will be very good citizens for the emergence of our country.
The remarkable presence of traditional rulers of the Northwest region, the political class and religious personalities fit into the wish of the Vice-Chancellor of the University of Bamenda, Professor Theresian Akenji, that beyond the exhibition of talent, the University Games should be above all a display of a spirit of love, unity and solidarity.
And the news in the French language comes up at 8 a.m. with Marie-Laurence K. Meantime, stay tuned to Hello Cameroon and see you tomorrow with the same pleasure.
And indeed, I'd love to see you again on Thursday with the same pleasure. But tomorrow you'll be with my French-speaking colleague, Eric Christiania, for Bonjour le Cameroun. I feel like giving you an orange.
Oh, no problem.
Would that give you a smile today?
It would give me a brighter smile.
Here.
That is, you can't even shoot this today.
You know, I took some time to clean that up and actually make it ready for your consumption.
Oh, thank you.
It's a lot of love. Beautiful day, my dear. See you on Thursday. But before I let go of you, there's a very sweet song I want to let you go with.
Okay.
It's called the person singing is Sonia K, and it's a featuring with Mr. Shine, and it's the first song. It's actually a foretaste of an album that is expected to be released this year. Like what? Maybe in the next 8 months. So you want to start counting and watch out for this artist. The title of this song is Atekote. Just enjoy.
Mr. Shine, it's master.
Kote, tu m'as touché, a wonderful song, and I hope it touched you because we wanted to let you know we are near you. You know, you might be in Kolofata, maybe you are in Yelmenduka, maybe you are in Dop. Wherever you are, if you're watching us right now, we're sending you a lot of big, huge hugs wherever you are. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to have Bodin Sama here today for the press review, but I happen to have two newspapers on my table. I'll just give you a few of the headlines there, and you can go out and grab the paper that speaks to you. But please, feel free. If Bodin is not here and you're waking up today, thank God for this day and go find out for yourself what the papers are saying. But Le Quotidien d'Emergence, this paper, has its headline focusing on the university games. According to this paper, the university games is kind of the games are kind of paralyzed by the city of Bamenda, by the ghost town in the city of Bamenda, and there is a huge there's a huge transfer, or should I say movement, of people in uniforms around Bamenda to make sure that the games go on hitch-free. You might want to read more of that. Also in that paper, it says the presidential couple have been married for 23 years. That's something I didn't know, and probably I'm informing you too, so you might want to read more about that. But there's a lot more in Quotidien L'Emergence. The other paper I want you to read is the National Bilingual Daily Cameroon Tribune, which says in the universe, it says concerning the teachers and the lawyers and what they have been asking for, there are possible solutions on the way. That's what Cameroon Tribune is focusing on in their headline today. And there are, of course, other stories. For example, the story on a new board chair has been appointed in Kameko. You heard that in the news. But, of course, Cameroon Tribune has a lot more details that you might want to go through today. And there is also sports and many more issues on culture and society in Cameroon Tribune. But, please, hopefully on Thursday, Boarding Summer will be here with a lot more on your press review. Now let's go talk about your weather forecast. If this is the time of the day when you're preparing to step out, maybe to go to work, and you're wondering how your outside looks like, we are here to give you an idea. This is your weather forecast. Please stay with us.
Hello Cameroon, this Tuesday 25 April, we will have a high temperature in the side of Yaoundé Central region, 32 degree of high temperature, 21 minimal and 13 medium, the risk of rain up to 100%, littoral show us 34 degree of high temperature, 26 minimal and 31 medium, the risk of rain up to 80% in the side of Douala. Let us go to the southwest region. In Boya, we'll have 35 degree of high temperature, 23 minimal and 33 medium, the risk of rain up to 100% with thunderstorm. Let's go to the west region in Bafoussam, 29 high temperature, 19 minimal and 26 medium, the risk of rain up to 100% with a lot of thunderstorm in the sky. For north, show us 43 high temperature degree, 13 minimal and 14 medium. The sun will be very present in the sky in this side of our country. North in Gara, show us 38 high temperature, 26 minimal and 35 medium. The sky will be clearly but some cloud in the sky. South region in Ebulova show us 29 degree of high temperature, 20 minimal and 26 medium, the risk of rain up to 100%. Let us go to the northwest in Bamenda. Let us show our sky who show us 28 degree of high temperature, 17 minimal and 25 medium, the risk of rain up to 80%. East in Bertois show us 31 degree of high temperature, 20 minimal and 28 medium, the risk of rain up to 80% with the cloud in the sky. Let us show the sky of Anamawa will have 31 degree of high temperature, 19 minimal and 27 medium, the risk of rain up to 40%. Yeah, our sun will rise in the 237 at 6. 2 a.m. and line at 6:18 p.m. Stay tuned on the CRTV channel.
Thinking of stepping out, I'm inviting you to stay with the CRTV. If you're losing us on television because you're going to go out of your home, please don't lose us on the radio. Please hook up to CRTV national station. It's 88.8. So easy, so simple. Just dial it or turn it and get there. You'll be hooked up to people like Pochi, like Charles, like Mara, who are working hard to make sure that you start your day on a good foot. Now let's talk about a day in history. Today, Charles Ebune is right here, so we'll talk about the French election. But before we go talk about the French election, which is the news that is trending all over right now, I want to take you to our legal slot where we are talking today about assassination. Please stay with us to discover a lot more about this.
Assassination is what the Cameroon Penal Code describes as capital murder. That's section 276 of the Cameroon Penal Code. Whoever commits murder, after premeditation, that is with the intention to commit murder, what we call mens rea, yes, by poisoning with a view to trafficking the organs of the victim in preparation, facilitation, or commission of a felony or misdemeanor or of accessory to such felony to procure the impunity of the offender or of an accessory to such felony or misdemeanor shall be punished with death. It's very important because the ingredients needed for an assassination, what you call an assassination, which the law has defined as capital punishment in section 276 of the Cameroon Penal Code, the main ingredient is premeditation. Premeditation, intention. In law we say mens rea. That is, you premeditate. You sit down, plan, and calculate, and work it out to go and kill another person, and you end up doing that. The legal sanctions are clear. As the case is established in court beyond all reasonable doubts, the offender is condemned to death. It's condemned to death. It's a death sentence. It will be very difficult. It will be very difficult, and usually it is almost impossible. As a High Court judge, I did not grant bail in cases that were obviously clear, in cases of murder, and you let the case unfold, and during which time the person is detained. Yes, and when it is finally established beyond all reasonable doubts, he will be condemned to death. Assassination, planning and meditating, premeditation to kill another person is certainly one of the worst things that anyone can do, alone or with whoever. And it should not be done, should never be done. Usually it's always detected.
Justice Kuna for all that enlightenment. Now let's talk the French election. It will either be a 39-year-old president, and it will be the youngest I've heard of in France, or it will be like in America. So, Charles Ebune, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
It looks like the world has their eye on France to see if it's going to be a woman or it's going to be a 39-year-old. In any case, something will happen, isn't it? Are you surprised, though?
I'm not surprised. Remember that on January 3 this year, I told you that by May 7, we'll either have a President Emmanuel Macron or Marine Le Pen or Manuel Valls. Mm-hmm. One name is completely out. But I'm not surprised because last May 2016, I received one of France's most high-ranking official, and I asked him about French elections, and this is what he said, and exactly is what is happening. Just watch.
You have elections in less than a year from now, which is true. Will you be running as candidate? Most people know you as Mr. Solution of Europe. You worked with the founding fathers of the current European leadership scheme, people like Jacques Delors, who currently you are honorary president of his foundation. Is Pascal Lamy having intentions as a socialist of dropping his candidate for next year's presidential election?
No, the answer to that is no. Since I left my job at the WTO, I've openly been saying that I'm not in for a government job. I'm too old. I've got many other things to do, and I think France is a place where youngsters, younger politicians, women and men, should step in. Our political system is too old. Most of the ministers which now have big positions were already there 20, 25, even 30 years ago. This is abnormal. We need to modernize. We need to have young people coming in much more than what we've done. And this is one of the reasons why I'm not in for a government job or position.
Well, that was Pascal Lamy, the former Director General of the World Trade Organization, and who was supposed to be Prime Minister of France in the place of Manuel Valls. Just to remind our audience that he was the first finance minister of François Mitterrand, and so it was not a surprise to most French people. Like he just said, that we had Emmanuel Macron at the age of 39 coming first in the first round of elections, and Marine Le Pen, who are all relatively very young, like Pascal Lamy just indicated there. France needs young people to govern the country, because for the past 30 or 40 years, the people who are there today are people who have been there over the years. So it is time to modernize the French political system.
Well, with my hand on my heart, that you could actually be very wrong or very right. Are you taking any bets? A woman or man for...
There are two...
It's happening in 2 weeks' time.
Yes, yes. There are two prisms under which we should look France's elections. Now, if we go back to 1995, was a referendum in France to organize a vote whether the French people are backing the French constitution, the European Union constitution. They voted no. If you use the 2005 method, Marine Le Pen is the next president of France. But now, if you use the economic method of who can best solve France's most crucial problem, then you would say Emmanuel Macron will be the next president of France. I want to take a risk this morning, like I did with the American elections, that Donald Trump will be president. The pronostics I'm going to do this morning, based on history, based on the reality on the ground, and based on the building of the alliance
Come on,
system,
just give it quickly.
is that Emmanuel Macron will be the next president of France. And let me use an emotional aspect to explain that. Emmanuel Macron is married to a lady who is 64 years old.
Who was his teacher in school.
Who was his teacher. Now,
Brigitte Macron.
Yes, 25 years older than himself. Emmanuel Macron says, if I can marry my former mistress, my former teacher, older than me, it is not an impossibility that I should be the president of France. If I can succeed to convince my former lecturer to be my wife, then he uses that emotional aspect to inject it into politics, and that is going to work. But it will be risky for the European Union in particular, for world leaders to continue supporting Emmanuel Macron. Because one of the reasons why the British voted to leave the European Union is that Barack Obama left the USA, told the British people inside 10 Downing Street that if you leave the European Union, you will have bad days ahead. Patriots don't like receiving orders from abroad.
Right. I hope that it's beyond the emotional story of him and Brigitte Macron, because that's a very sweet love.
It was just an extrapolation.
That's a very sweet love story that you might want to follow up on, because it's still hot and on. You won't believe it, but the two are lovebirds. That aside, Emmanuel Macron is a genius in economics. It's been proven that he's
one of the banking gurus of France.
He has a twist and a turn that solves some problems at times, and the world.
And you know why he left the government? Because he wanted to simplify the French, or modernize the French economic
and of
system
course,
that
it wasn't going down
apart
well.
With the government.
Thank you very much, Charles Ebune, and thank you for an opportunity to look at world events, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you again. If it's Thursday, fine. If it's next year, it's fine as well. Because with you, nobody ever knows. I call him Mudfish Charles Ebune. You know Mudfish? You hold a head, and before you know it, phew, gone out. Oh, this should go on your head. Should I?
No.
Okay, well, let me give you a moment to laugh. This is a parody of Stay With Me by Tizzy Panchak. Tizzy, I hope you are watching this. This is what some guys call his animateur de Cameroon, and they are in the Southwest region, did with your song. What a beautiful song, but what a beautiful parody they made of it. Please enjoy. This is produced by Neftenda in Boya. Thank you, Elvis, for sending this to Hello Cameroon.
Stay with me, stay with you. No leave me, no leave me.
I love this beat, it's crazy.
One
It's
under it, when you weather, call me, I go come more little. On the sun, when you weather, call me, I go run more little. Anything for you, all I see is you. See them lock out day, say what love no go stay. Baby, now them go fail. Cause baby, you don't know, say you did my mind. I guess you never know, they are deep up play for you. See baby, you don't know, say I truly love you. I'm not teasing you, I go deep, follow you. So baby, stay with me, oh. Mommy, stay with me, oh. Cause you the boss, my baby. See, there's nothing wrong in trying. My cherry cocoa, I'm begging, no. Yeah, see, there's nothing wrong in trying. Hey, my cherry cocoa, I'm begging, no. Hey, girl, I see fire in your eyes. Try, and then I start to realize, oh, say that you're a blessing in disguise. You know what I'm searching. Cause baby, you don't know. Say you did my mind. I guess you never know. They are deep up play for you. See baby, you don't know. Say I truly love you. I'm not teasing you. I go deep, follow you. So baby, stay with me, oh. Mommy, stay with me, oh. Stay with me, oh. Cause you the boss, my baby. See, there's nothing wrong in trying. My cherry cocoa, I'm begging, no. Yeah, see, there's nothing wrong in trying. Hey, my cherry cocoa, I'm begging, no. See, stay with me, oh. Yeah, no leave me, oh, no leave me, oh. Hey, stay with me, oh.
I love this beat, it's crazy.
Cause baby, you don't know. Say you did my mind. I guess you never know. They are deep up play for you. See baby, you don't know. Say I truly love you. I'm not teasing you. I go there, follow you. So baby, stay with me, oh. Mommy, stay with me, oh. Cause you the boss, my baby. See, there's nothing wrong in trying. My cherry cocoa, I'm begging you. Yeah, see, there's nothing wrong in trying. Yeah, my cherry cocoa, I'm begging you.
Everything gone. The shoes, the phone, the dress. Even the pant, was about to go too if the guy had not taken. That's what happens. But that was a beautiful parody of K-Town Boy's song, Tizzy Panchak, Stay With Me. Beautiful song, but thank you to Neftenda and Elvis in Boya for making us laugh on Hello Cameroon today. We're waiting for more. We are like Oliver Twist. Give us a bit and we'll show another hand. Please, for more. Now, let's bring back somebody we had on the program before, Dr. Fombe, who talked to Muki about mental health. We've been having calls and a lot of people showing interest for us to bring back that interview, and that's what we choose to do today, so we can please you. Please listen and learn about mental health, because as he put it that day, you and I could actually have mental problem we do not know, and there's nothing wrong with that. It happens. Just watch and learn.
Yeah, thanks, Pochi Tamban. So as you said, Fonbe Hedwig Chair is already here with me, and you already said he is a mental health specialist trained in the United States of America. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Edwin.
Yeah. Why did you decide to study mental health?
Well, what happened is that I have been working in Cameroon in some of the biggest hospitals, like Banto Baptist Hospital, and even all over the CBC Health Board. And we have realized that there are patients with mental health diseases. But for some reason, our focus in Cameroon remains medical, biological care. So much so that you see patients with mental health conditions, and it seems like nobody understands them. Nobody, seem to see what is going on in their brains. And so they continue to suffer, sometimes in the street, and sometimes with their families, and nobody helped them. So when I went to the U.S., lucky enough for me, I got this U.S. Scholarship from the government to do mental health and psychiatry rehabilitation, after which I gained employment, full-time employment with the U.S. federal project, wherein I was assigned to get the chronically ill, mentally ill patients from the street, and place them on treatment, and resettle them in what is called Section A housing. And that project was a multi-million project. And I could see how patients change. And even some patients would ask me, what have you done to this patient to change like this? I would say, well, that's my model. All through my studies, I've researched on the treatment of body, mind, and the soul. And this is the mission of the Living Vine Mental Health Center, created on Fonja Street, Bamenda. We look at the body, what is wrong with your body. Sometimes social needs. You may need food to eat, you may need just some wounds to be cleaned, you may need you may have some other chronic conditions like HIV and so on. We refer to other clinicians. And you may simply be disturbed in your brain. The mind, what we conceive in our minds affects how we behave. The mind is connected to the emotion. And so how you think can affect how you feel, and can affect how you behave.
Before we get to the details of this, there's one thing you're trying to raise, mental health. What is mental health? Are you talking about those mad people we see along the streets?
Well, when we talk about mental health, we talk about somebody being able to have resilience, somebody being able to enjoy his life, his or her life, somebody being able to be autonomous, somebody being able to take his or her decision, who is reality-oriented. You can think, you can feel, you can behave correctly. And so when we talk about mental health, it's generally everybody. It's same like biological health. Everybody goes to the medical facility. It's the same thing. Mental health services are designed to meet the needs of everybody. If you got up this morning, you are angry, or if you have been angry for some length of time and you are unable to take decision, that's a mental health condition. And if you are sad most of the time, that's already a mental health condition. If you lost touch of reality, instead of coming to Radio House, you take the route to the market, already that's a mental health condition.
Can it be an error? At times you're going home and you forget that you have to take this distance. Don't you think it can be an error, not necessarily a condition of mental health?
Well, yeah, we do assess. There are criteria for assessing mental health condition. And of course, there is a DSM, what is called Diagnostic Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders. There are more than 200 types of mental illnesses. And in these conditions, there are specificities. The ones that you present is dependent on the history. That's why diagnosis is very important. You are raising the issue of diagnosis. You cannot treat a disease which you cannot diagnose. You cannot even manage it well. And if you misdiagnose a patient, you also suffer the patient along the way.
What is the magnitude of mental problems in Cameroon, and who are those that suffer most?
I believe that everybody in Cameroon has a mental crisis.
You mean that I'm standing here in front of you, I can also have a problem, mental problem?
Of course, everybody at one point in our lives have a mental crisis. The difference now is that in some cases, people can recover by themselves. You know, when you discover that you need to do sport, you need to, interact with your friends, share your problems with them, and sometimes have a support system.
Can you give an example of a mental disorder, mental crisis that you say everybody can develop?
Well, like anger. Or let me say stress. At the root of mental illnesses is stress. When you have stress, and this stress is prolonged for so long, it begins to change your brain chemistry. Instead of you feeling, the brain chemistry has, it alternates the dopamine and the serotonin. There are these neurotransmitters which alternate in your feelings, in your mood. And sometimes when you are so stressed for a long time, you are angry for a long time, it alternates the production of these neurotransmitters. And you might stay in your anger mode, you might stay in your sad mode, which is now an issue, which is a mental condition. And for those who are predisposed to having psychiatric condition, because most often it is genetical, you will now develop what is chronic. And it might be chronically a condition which can be diagnosed as depression, it can be schizophrenia, it could be bipolar, it could be schizoaffective. There are various kinds of these conditions. And that is why once you are stressed and you are unable to manage your stress, a mental health center is the best place to go.
Before getting to a mental health care center, I was just wondering what can be the consequences of this mental health to the economy of Cameroon and to enterprises?
Thank you. If the government cannot pay attention to the mental health of our citizens, the country will end up stagnant. The country will not grow. Because it is the brain that conceives what can be developed economically. It is the brain that causes people to socialize. And it is the brain that causes people to behave normally. And if the government or the people in the country are mentally developed, are sick, are mentally in crisis, what will happen is that they will begin to destroy things. Mental health sometimes has a comorbid condition of crimes as well as a disease condition. Someone can be angry and they blew the anger out of proportion because already he is sick. And sometimes if the country does not provide the freedom to our people, if the country does not provide people employment, the country does not give the enabling environment for people to have, free social life, to go to the market, to buy things, and to do their activities as they want. Now, what will happen is that people will live in anger for long. People will live in sad mode for long. And what that remains is that they will not be able to get up from their bed and go to work. If you sleep in the morning and you used to get up early, and now you see that you are sleeping long hours, that's a sign of a mental illness. If you find out that to get out of bed, you find it difficult, or you are sleeping a lot, or you are sleeping too little, those extremes are signs of a mental illness, which if you find yourself experiencing them, extending up to 2 weeks, you must begin to consult a specialist.
What about the consequences on enterprises, some corporations? Since you say everybody is a potential mental patient or had suffered this before, has it got any consequences on companies?
What my experience in U.S. showed was that every company requires the employment of a psychiatrist or a psychologist. When they see a worker behaving in a funny way, maybe he was active at work and he was always happy, and now this worker is sad. The director will just ask him to go visit with a psychologist consult and go visit a psychiatrist and consult. And in this is intended to empower that worker to be productive. And if enterprises see their workers sad and they do nothing about it, their productivity level will be very low. They will even destroy what they have built over the years. A country can build, those who are mentally healthy build a country, and it takes only those who are mentally sick to destroy it, same as families. And so when they don't identify these conditions, even within the family, to seek treatment, what you have belabored yourself to build over the years. I had a patient one time who was even smoking marijuana. He smoked one time, lighted fire, and the house was caught on fire, and he was sitting and laughing. That's a mental illness. which if the family identify that somebody has started smoking, they seek treatment. The early intervention is better, and the early intervention is more effective than when somebody stays and the strain becomes chronic. Prevention is better than cure. So the government has a very big task to prioritize mental health as one of the major things that can help Cameroon to grow.
I have seen some mental patients who are actually chained and taken to hospitals. They become very aggressive. How do you handle such cases? You put them in cells, you call them hospital rooms?
This is a very sad thing in our country for persons who are mentally sick, which breaks my heart. When somebody is mentally sick and is chained, that is called abuse. You cannot chain somebody. The symptoms are always beyond the families to address, but the best way is to respect the right of the person with mental illnesses and treat them humanly. When they do bring them to the Living by Mental Health Center, what we do is we have what is called a rubber room. A rubber room is a kind of room designed with some cotton, with some soft material, where even if a patient is angry, he can fight, he can box, he can do all kinds of things. He will become tired and he will not hurt himself. When the patient is calm and is already disarmed in that room, then we get the patient, we engage the patient on treatment, and there are always interventions, especially on medication management, that can help the patient calm down. You know, without the medication management, even if you tie the person, you beat the person, you are abusing somebody, and that is criminal.
How much would it cost to take care of somebody suffering mental defects in Cameroon?
Now, the cost of mental health is something that defeats treatment most often, because since it's not one person who is treating it, and different person has different charges, it becomes very expensive. But in this case, when I was working in the U.S., they were the government paying. The government pays for the treatment of mentally sick. Each of us, we need to know those people who are mentally sick represent, they are identified patients, and all of us can help them to become well.
You mean that all those guys that stay along the streets, eating from trash cans, is not all lost? They can have solutions to the problems?
Yes, I believe those patients who are on the street eating from trash can, we just need the will. The family just need to bring them. They will be treated.
Lastly, before you leave us, what are the challenges you face while treating these people? You have enough money, enough resources?
Now, since I came from the U.S., the issue has been, I've lived from the support coming from the U.S., from my friends I work with in the government, who has ensured that this thing exists and that it should grow in Cameroon. But they are thinking that it should be the Cameroonians to treat them, their loved ones. And when we look at what is happening, we see that these chronically sick patients, they can be managed. The challenge is the management is a long process, and sometimes it needs continuous resources. And without those resources flowing, the treatment can get blocked at some point. Sometimes the families are not able to continue treatment because they don't have the money to come to review and pay for their medication, or to come to review for assessment, and that is where the challenge, the major challenge comes from. So, but if if families can collaborate, that's why we don't treat patients alone. The patient represents the condition in the family. Mental illnesses are genetical, and most often when somebody is sick in the family, it represents the genes that runs within the family. And it suffices that the family should come together and help that person, not abandoning the person alone.
Before you leave, you said prevention is better than cure. What do you mean? That me, standing here now, should rush to the hospital, to the mental care service to find out if there's something wrong with me?
Yeah, thank you. The point here is prevention is very critical. When you find yourself that you are sad, when you find yourself that you are stressed for too long, better seek therapy. You do exercises, you socialize with your friends, you go to the farm, you play good music, you dance, do something to feel good about yourself. And if you cannot do something to feel good about yourself, then you need help. And this help means that once you come to a mental health clinic, we prescribe activities according to your strength. We prescribe interventions according to your strength. So on that note, you would have been preventing, because if you don't prevent, when they start, and especially when you are predisposed to it, it's not going to just evaporate and finish. You must prevent, and that's why mental health clinics are necessary, and they are demanded in every county of this country, because everybody needs it to run to when they are feeling sad all the time, they are feeling disturbed all the time, they need somebody to change their mindset, to correct their thinking, so that they can feel good and happy.
Well, Pochitaman, so there's one thing I gathered from here is that when you're stressed up, when you feel tired, when you are unhappy, there may be something happening. You may be having the beginning of a mental disorder. You should rush and meet your doctor, a mental health expert. And he says there are so many Cameroonians who have mental effects, and all of us, he says, all of us may have had this effect once in our lives. Something to ponder about. Over to you, Poche.
Indeed, something to ponder over. Thank you very much, Moki Edwin Kinzika. We thought we should bring back that interview to you because we thought as well we should remind you that your happiness is in your hands. You should go find fun, like the doctor said. Find things that make you laugh, make you happy, make you whole. And if you're unable to connect with those things, get help. Get help from mental health experts. And, you know, these are people who don't name most often. I want to say a special good morning to 3 persons who are neurologists. These are doctors we see when we have problems related with our brain. I'm thinking of Professor Njamshi, I'm thinking of Dr. Ngaka, and I'm thinking of Dr. Tata, and I'm thinking of all of you who work day and night to make sure that we stay healthy and that will continue to work on the planet Earth. All right. That said, let me take you to the south region to Colette Jani, who has been visiting a couple who is into agriculture. And she says, even though there's been so much talk about second-generation farming or industrial farming or mechanized farming, the talk is still to walk the mile. Colette Jani tells us more.
Hello Cameroon, you're welcome to the South region, the heart of the equatorial forest. Today we are in Yen, a small village found in the Jum subdivision, Janloba division of the region. They practice a lot of agriculture here, but guess what? We're going to meet a couple who for some years now have been practicing agriculture. They have over 17 hectares of land and they have been doing this all manually, that is using basic agricultural tools like machetes and hoes without no mechanical aid. So we're going to meet them. Stay tuned. This is our couple for today, Mr. and Mrs. Benjamin Eto. They are going to inspire you. They have managed to work over 17 hectares of cocoa using just local farming tools like machetes, hoes, spades, just to name but these.
On travaille d'abord les gens, le tout parti, et on a été déçus par ces gens. Donc on a pris la décision de venir travailler pour nous-mêmes. On a commencé à faire des hectares.
We started by sharing our farms with some people here in Yen, but we were disheartened with the way they managed our little money. So we decided to work for ourselves. We started with 3 hectares of land at once. We planted cocoa seedlings, and where they did not do well, we decided to put nurseries in order to fill up the farms. The second and third time we did the same with 2 hectares each. We opened the farms all by ourselves. It was when he got tired that I asked him to get help. Right now we have 7 hectares.
Though they have succeeded to manage these hectares of land manually, they believe some assistance from the government will improve their yields.
C'est le problème de fichage. Pour le manque d'œuvre. Vous voyez chez nous ici, les gars ne sont pas intéressés pour faire le job.
You see, people in Yen here in the Jum subdivision are not hardworking. So it is young people from the Northwest region who help us here. And for them to work for us, we have to put them on a pay. So when there is no money, it's difficult for us.
Donc il faut des insecticides pour pulvériser et le problème de fongicides. Et en plus de ça, pour l'extension.
Secondly, we lack insecticides and fungicides to protect our plants from cocoa diseases. We also lack machines. All you see here, I use my machete. There's nothing to help us. All we do here is for the future of our children, because sooner or later we will leave this work. Fortunately for us, when they are on holidays, they come and help us here in the farm.
Qu'ils soient imprégnés dans la machette. Parce que vous allez voir ici que la plupart des jeunes ne veulent pas travailler avec la machette.
Nous voulons les aides. tout ceci, il faut des aides. Parce que tout ceci, on a fait ça de nous-mêmes.
We seriously need help. All of these, we have done it by ourselves. Since we started, we have no assistance, and it is very difficult. But for the subdivisional delegate of agriculture in June, who from time to time gives us seedlings and some fungicides, but we still need more. Sometimes we send our children to town to get insecticides.
Comme nous avons nos enfants là, ce sont eux qui ils achètent les fongicides. Quand ils viennent travailler, ils pulvérisent. Bien après, bon, ils vont enlever leur argent.
While waiting for the government, they remain an example to follow.
Much, Colette Jani. Indeed, the talk on agriculture, second generation farming, and a more advanced or more profitable form of farming is still quite needed and is still to go a mile. Well, it's 8 o'clock here in the studio, and Marie-Laurence Kay is here to update you on what's been happening in and around the country in the French language.
Joyeux anniversaire à X Maléa, c'est 10 ans, c'est pas 10 ans, 10 ans.
Voici le X-Malea Campus Tour 2017, une plateforme de mise en valeur des talents locaux. 8 spectacles populaires dans les villes universitaires du Cameroun: Tchang, Poya, Pamenda, Maroua, Garoua, Ngaoundéré, Douala, Yaoundé 1 et 2. Une belle communion avec les millions de fans. Annonceurs, mécènes, sponsors, voici l'occasion idéale pour toucher vos cibles. Contactez la CRTV Marketing and Communication Agency CMCA pour plus d'informations.
La foire syrienne est de retour et va vous en mettre plein les yeux à la maison du parti du Mfoudi à Yaoundé. Du 10 avril au 10 mai, faites le plein avec les merveilles syriennes. Salon de qualité, tapis, lustres en plaqué or, rideaux haut de gamme, matelas médical, accessoires pour ameublement, robes de mariage, vêtements et chaussures pour hommes, femmes et enfants. Parfums, maquillage, bijoux, on n'oublie pas la confection gratuite de vos rideaux. Tous les jours, de 10h à 19h. La déco orientale, plus ultra, à la foire syrienne, tous les jours, du 10 avril au 10 mai.
Madame, Monsieur, bonjour et bienvenue aux 8h sur la CRTV. À la une de l'actualité de ce matin, habitat et développement urbain, 660 logements sociaux, une école et un centre de santé sont réceptionnés aujourd'hui à Olembe, ici même à Yaoundé, par le ministre de l'Habitat et du Développement urbain, accompagné des ministres du domaine et du cadastre, puis celui des marchés publics. Ces logements sont le fruit de la coopération chinoise. Paludisme ce mardi 25 avril, les journées consacrées à la lutte plus qu'une maladie, c'est un véritable problème de santé publique qui freine le développement économique. Au Cameroun, la région de l'Adamawa se met en ordre de bataille. Le ministre des Travaux publics Emmanuel Ngano-Djoumessi préside tout à l'heure à l'hôtel Montfébé une session du comité de pilotage des programmes, outil intégrateur du projet de facilitation des transports et de transit en zone CEMAC et du projet de transport multinodal. La Camerco a un nouveau président du conseil d'administration, Louis-Georges Dipendi-Koto. Il a été installé hier dans sa nouvelle fonction au cours d'un conseil d'administration extraordinaire présidé par le ministre des Transports, Edgar Alem-Bungo. Edgar Alem-Bungo, le ministre des Transports, a prescrit au nouveau PCA du côté du directeur général NS Dikoum le redressement de la structure qui est déjà amorcée, mais également de faire régler la sérénité au sein de cette structure. Rabiatoula.
Au 10e étage de l'hôtel Hilton de Yaoundé, le huis clos aura duré 1 heure ou presque. Un conseil d'administration extraordinaire de la Camerco dont la trame centrale se révèle au sortir des échanges. La compagnie aérienne a un nouveau président du conseil d'administration.
J'ai l'honneur de procéder à l'installation officielle de M. Jipendi Kwotu Louis-Georges, ici présent, dans ses nouvelles fonctions de président du conseil d'administration de Cameroun.
Le PCA sortant, par ailleurs ministre délégué au transport, cède son siège ce lundi à Louis-Georges Jipendi Kwotu, dans un contexte marqué par la volonté affichée de l'État de redresser la Camerco pour un réel et nouvel envol.
Je voudrais dire toute ma gratitude à M. le Président de la République pour la très haute estime et le très grand honneur qu'il a bien voulu placer en ma personne. Nous avons été installés, nous prendrons connaissance des dossiers et peut-être que plus tard, un autre jour, nous aurons l'occasion d'échanger plus largement avec vous.
Et on le rappelle ici, des signaux annoncent l'embellie. La Camerco vient d'acquérir les 2 Boeing qu'elle utilisait en location jusqu'ici. La couverture aérienne nationale est actuellement assurée à 70%, avec un taux de ponctualité porté à 76%. Louis-Georges Jipendi est un administrateur civil principal, diplômé de l'ENAM à Yaoundé et de l'ENAD Paris. Parmi ses gros challenges, le devoir de ramener la sérénité au sein de la Camerco. Au dire du ministre de tutelle, la compagnie n'est pas sortie de sa zone de turbulence, mais elle n'a jamais été aussi proche de son redécollage.
Un changement de plus à la tête de la Camerco, des mutations qui s'enchaînent juste pour trouver la meilleure formule pour un meilleur décollage. Cette fois-ci, serait-ce la bonne combinaison? Mélanie PTB.
Le conseil d'administration extraordinaire de la Camerco, tenu ce lundi après-midi à Yaoundé, a donc rendu son verdict. Le directeur général actuel, Ernest Dikoum, reste en poste. Lorsqu'il prend les rênes de la compagnie il y a 8 mois de cela, il est le 6e directeur général de Camerco, ceci depuis 2011. 6 directeurs généraux en 5 ans, ce qui est un record dans le management des organisations. Chacun des 6 directeurs généraux a, à son arrivée, entrepris des réformes qui ont parfois tourné court. Mais dans le même temps, on a constaté des effectifs pléthoriques, des manques à gagner criards, une dette colossale de plus de 34 milliards de francs CFA, du fait des plannings de dessertes non réalistes. La flotte de la compagnie s'est amoindrie pour tomber à 3 aéronefs seulement. Les mésententes observées parfois entre le conseil d'administration et la direction générale ont plombé les actions de remise à niveau de la compagnie nationale aérienne. Il a fallu qu'en 2015, le gouvernement se saisisse du dossier en acquérant 2 avions MA-60 pour venir renflouer la flotte de Camerco et qu'un audit soit fait dans la foulée, avec la validation en juin 2016 par le chef de l'État Paul Biya lui-même du plan de relance de la compagnie proposé par la société Boeing. Dans la perspective de la mise en œuvre de ce plan de relance, une nouvelle équipe dirigeante a été nommée à la tête de l'entreprise, avec comme président du conseil d'administration le sieur Meshiro Marou par ailleurs, ministre délégué auprès du ministre des Transports et comme directeur général Ernest Dikoum. On disait alors le tandem idoine pour enfin donner ses lettres de noblesse à la compagnie. Mais dès le premier conseil d'administration, il y a eu du rifici dans l'air. Des notes discordantes mises sur la place publique ont suscité des inquiétudes. Pourtant, quelques signes promoteurs existent. La desserte domestique, on l'a dit, est de plus en plus régulière et même certaines destinations sous-régionales. 2 nouveaux aéronefs ont été acquis il y a quelques jours pour renforcer la flotte de la compagnie, de quoi attirer une plus grande clientèle et la fidéliser pour que l'étoile du Cameroun se mette enfin à briller. Mais il faudra aussi pour cela une certaine stabilité du top management.
Parlons à présent de la Commission nationale pour la promotion du bilinguisme et du multiculturalisme. La commission dite Peter Mafani Moussongue va œuvrer à promouvoir non seulement le bilinguisme, mais également le vivre ensemble, la multiculturalité camerounaise. Elvis Bimba.
Au-delà de la conjoncture actuelle, la question camerounaise est aussi celle de son caractère multiculturel. Ce pays aux 250 ethnies et dialectes, le pays des peuples soudano-sahéliens, Fangbeti, Sawa et Grassfield, ce Cameroun-là est traversé par diverses influences religieuses. Le christianisme dans toutes ses facettes, des plus en vue, très acceptés aux plus négligés, plus discriminés. Il y a l'islam avec des terres de prédilection, mais une présence nationale. Il y a surtout l'animisme, pour utiliser le vocable officiel, donné aux multiples croyances traditionnelles qui ont précédé l'arrivée des religions révélées au Cameroun. Ces croyances varient d'une contrée à une autre. Elles suscitent parfois rejet et incompréhension. Malgré ces différences, les Camerounais de différentes origines se côtoient, se marient et s'associent dans diverses activités. Mais les périls et les menaces sur cette cohabitation ne sont pas éludés. Normal donc de renforcer et structurer ce multiculturalisme en s'inspirant des formules qui ont eu du succès ailleurs, des règles, des usages, des actes à promouvoir. Tout doit être mis en place pour promouvoir ce multiculturalisme, en faisant reculer le repli identitaire, en évitant le vocabulaire discriminant très présent souvent dans les discours, en réduisant les inégalités et les retards visibles entre les groupes qui occupent les 475 422 km² du territoire camerounais.
La ville de Bamenda, dans le nord-ouest, a connu hier une animation inhabituelle depuis le début de la crise sociopolitique, dite crise anglophone. Une marche pacifique a été organisée par les commerçants et des citoyens qui demandent un retour à la normale dans la région du nord-ouest. Plus de détails, c'est avec Elvis Nguimezon de CRTV Nord-Ouest.
La marche pouvait peut-être user leurs souliers, mais pas entamer leur détermination à crier leur ras-le-bol face à la persistance de ces villes mortes qui entravent depuis 6 mois déjà la bonne marche de leurs activités économiques. De Foncha Junction à Commerce l'Avenue, en passant par Mobile Kwen, Kao Street, Gen Junction, Sonar Street et City Kemis, ces commerçants, hommes et femmes, par dizaines, pancartes et banderoles à la main, ont scandé des messages du genre « Le dialogue est préférable au tract » ou messages délivrés par des personnes non identifiées, non aux villes mortes car elles ruinent nos économies et hypothèquent la bonne marche de nos affaires.
Depuis le 8 décembre, que cette histoire se passe à Bamenda, ça nous met vraiment très mal à l'aise. Les enfants ne partent pas à l'école, nous les commerçants on souffre. Et depuis que cette histoire a commencé, on dit Ghostan, on sait pas qui est Ghostan. Depuis décembre que j'ai fait un prêt de plus de 5 millions, je ne suis pas au niveau de rembourser cet argent. Nous on ne veut plus l'histoire de Ghostan à Bamenda.
À leur passage, les curieux accouraient, les uns pour prendre des photos, les autres pour soutenir l'initiative. Ces marcheurs exaspérés ont achevé leur course dans les services du gouverneur du Nord-Ouest. Le patron des lieux, Adolphe Lélafrique, les a accueillis à bras ouverts.
En sport, Jeux universitaires au campus de Bambili, la course de médailles des 20e universiades se poursuit. L'université de Douala occupe désormais la première place du classement provisoire avec 8 médailles en or, 4 en argent. Une performance qui relègue au second plan l'INGS de Yaoundé avec 7 médailles en or et 7 en argent. L'université de Yaoundé de Arsoa enregistre 7 médailles en or et 4 en argent. Madame, Monsieur, c'est ici que s'achève les 8 heures de ce mardi matin. Merci de l'avoir suivi et bonne journée à tous.
Marie-Laurence, thank you so much for the news of today.
Merci.
I feel like I should give you something for your effort.
Tous les matins, des fruits,
So,
tout le matin,
yeah.
des fruits, oui.
Would you like a banana, a mango? Not a mango.
Banana.
Banana. It's a good choice though, very healthy.
Merci.
Have a beautiful day.
Merci.
And see you on Thursday because tomorrow you will hear Eric Christiania. Beautiful day to you then.
Merci.
All right, let's give you our freestyle moment on Hello Cameroon. If you're thinking of a wedding dance, we're still in it. We brought you one last time, and this time again, we saw a pair that we just had to bring to you. When you look at them, you're like, why are they on freestyle? But just give yourself a cool moment to enjoy them, and you'll be seeing why they are on our freestyle today. Please just enjoy. Well, that ends well with a party like that. I'm sure you're learning. You don't need to buy a blast, you know. You just have to cook it by yourself and deliver, and it's a whole blast for your party. In fact, that's the reason why we show you wedding dances, because these days they are becoming very hot and very, very entertaining. If you are planning a wedding and you're thinking of making it a wow moment, make sure you get a good camera, film it, put it on YouTube, and put you will grab. That's what I do now. I grab and I share. That's it. Let's move to something else. I'm feeling a little bit hungry, and there's this girl way over there in Texas. Okay, we're taking a flight to the US to go meet Therese, who is talking to us today about how to cook garlic shrimp. Please just enjoy It's Cooking on Hello Cameroon.
Therese coming to you from Chicago. This year we'll be exploring different spices and how they are beneficial to the body. For this episode we focus on garlic. Garlic is very nutritious and very low in calories. Its active compounds help to reduce high blood pressure. It also improves cholesterol levels, which lower the risk of heart disease. It minimizes bone loss and also helps with athletic performance. For this episode we'll be making garlic shrimp. Let's come back and talk some more about this dish. For this dish, we will need shrimp. I already have my shrimp marinating in my pureed spices. The spices I used are onion, habanero hot pepper, that is optional, ginger, a pinch of salt to taste, and some white pepper. We will also need bouillon cube to taste, garlic, parsley, red pepper, and peanut oil. Let's come back and make our garlic shrimp. This is a very easy and quick dish to make. For starters, warm up your oil and add your pureed garlic. Once you add your pureed garlic, let it simmer for 10 seconds and then bring in your shrimp. Once you add your shrimp, let it cook for about 3 minutes. Our shrimp has been cooking for about 3 minutes. It's time to add our bouillon cube. Any flavor is fine. We'll also add our red peppers. We'll let that simmer for another 2 minutes and then we'll bring in our parsley. It's now time to add our parsley. The aroma in this kitchen is out of this world. We are all done. Let's come back and serve. We are all done. Today we made garlic shrimp. Let's take a closer look at our dish. That looks very tasty. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Don't forget to like us on Facebook at Cooking with Therese and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. I am also on Instagram at Cooking with Therese. Remember, eating healthy does not have to be boring. Bye-bye and see you next time.
Thank you very much, Therese, for one delicious moment again with you. We're looking forward to others. Now, let's take you back to the North region, where CRTV workers there had a moment of friendship in what they call the amicale of colleagues of CRTV in that part of the country. Please, let's just enjoy that moment with them and come back after.
Solidarity and conviviality are just a few words to describe what is going on at the CRTV North regional station. This time around, under the umbrella of the CRTV North Friendship Club, their quest is to discover one of Cameroon's finest touristic hotspots, and it lies in the bosoms of the North region. It is the Kola Gorges in the Gide subdivision. Looking all excited and smart, they all get into the bus, hitting the over 120-kilometer stretch of road to Gide in the bus. No silence is permitted with the burgeoning ambience. Not too long, the staff is at the door to the Kola Gorges as early as 6:30 a.m. But remember, they are hungry and stop for a bite, or what they would rather call Pose Cafe. Another 5 kilometers of rocky roads before the staff descends to the grounds of the North's treasure with a team already at their disposal. The Kola Gorges say good morning to the CRTV North Friendship Club members, an initiative of station manager Beteng Ayangma, but captained by staffman Danjoma Bobo Beloko.
Cette étape fait partie du programme d'activité 2017.
This is one of our action plans for 2017 for our Friendship Club to come for an excursion to the Kola Gorges and discover one of nature's great offers, and the bet is won.
Before the sun gets overhead and hits the rocks, the tour begins. The tour guides accompany to explain each monumental feature. The creeks and breeze are welcoming, but the rather steep and captivating structures make climbing difficult and bring the humor all to it. The adventure continues. This time around, the descent is deadly, but only the brave can go through, and the not so brave wait for others to return. That scary descent was to the heart of the Kola Caves. It is called the Devil's Dance. The CRTV Friendship Club members have maneuvered their way from the Kola Gorges from the entrance, and right now I've come right down to the heart of the Kola Gorges. We are here, they call it the Devil's Dance, and we don't actually know why it's called the Devil's Dance, but we're actually going to discover what's inside, because you have these well-placed stones. It's like man-made and it's so beautiful, but the name Devil's Dance has been given to this particular place. So come on with me, let's go and discover what's in there. This hollow is called the Devil's Dance. During the rainy seasons, it's quite full with water. We have water coming up right up to the waist level. But since we're in the heart of the dry season, the waters have gone down. We can feel the sands beneath our feet. And we see that when you shout, you can really actually hear the echoes. Hello! You can hear the echoes, actually. The tour guide says the Devil's Dance decades ago was a site for all sorts of sacrifices, from human to animal sacrifices to the gods. Up they go, immortalizing the trip in pictures, but with interest to discover more features. There is a solemn beauty at the Kola Gorges, a feature that brings out the Virgin Mary in the wall. Not too far from this lady is the African map, kind of plastered on the walls too, but it is all the handwork of Mother Nature. The staff is left spellbound by all the impressive gifts of the Kola Gorges and the outing.
It's a very beautiful initiative, and I appreciate
the Friendship Club for bringing us to this beautiful gift of nature which has so many amazing seats.
It is just wonderful to come here in Gorge de Kola to visit this beautiful space. I'm glad to be with other colleagues to forget small times work.
This site is marvelous, and this is the beautiful creation of the hands of God. The beautiful caves, the statue of Mary, all natural. God is marvelous in his makings.
I saw those pictures made by the nature, and I think that it is a beautiful touristic site, and we have to promote it, to show all the world that our country has many touristic sites to discover.
The tourism officials are always glad to receive an enthusiastic team like this with the facilities of getaways they offer.
It's a pleasure for me to receive the amical of the CRTV. It's not common to see them like the others who arrived here, so we are very glad.
The president assures he still has a hard trick to pull off his sleeves before the year runs by.
Il est prévu une descente en Gaoundéré au cours.
We preview a descent to Gaoundéré for a visit, but we are preparing to welcome the Gaoundéré staff who will be here in a few months.
Nos collègues de CRTV Adamawa qui vont venir chez nous d'ici quelques mois.
With that gladdening information of much future fun, plus a day of conviviality and solidarity, just one more word from the CRTV Friendship Club members. Hello, that's awesome. You know, in life, it's good to go break away from usual stuff and go have fun. And I hope that somewhere in other parts of CRTV, some people will copy your example from CRTV Garwa. Now, you hear some music in the background, and I'm going to allow you to discover Damien Blue. He has a touch in music that is awesome. Please just discover our guest.
I love you.
Mi yo mi simba mi kambu wetindo lingate me ambombo mi yo make mi no chaimo wekina buma mi kambu wekino lingate me ambombo atara onayo be atara I love you atara natonde wa atara
Damien Blue, we need to take a pause there and discover the person. I thought I knew him, but I'm discovering him again. Let's take a moment and have publicity or advertisement if you prefer, and we'll talk to Damien Blue just after that.
Joyeux anniversaire à X Maléa, c'est 10 ans, c'est pas 10 ans. 10
Here comes the Ex-Malaya 2017 Campus Tour, a platform for the promotion of local talents. 8 pop shows in university towns of Cameroon, Chang, Boya, Bamenda, Marwa, Garwa, Ngaoundere, Douala, Yaoundé 1 and 2. Good moments of communion with millions of fans, advertisers, sponsors. This is a unique opportunity to reach your target audience. Contact the CRTV Marketing and Communication Agency CMCA today for more information.
Rien n'est plus agréable que de préparer des pâtes ensemble, avec des ingrédients frais, une bonne sauce faite maison. Les spaghettis et macaronis Broly, fabriqués à partir du meilleur blé dur, plein de nutriments et fibres pour une meilleure digestion. Les pâtes Broly sont prêtes en moins de 7 minutes et ne collent pas. Choisissez les pâtes Broly, les pâtes fines et délicieuses qui ne collent pas.
Broly, la passion de bien nourrir.
La Fondation Caritas Cameroun a pour objectif la formation à la générosité de l'homme, mobiliser des fonds pour partager avec l'homme qui est vulnérable autour de nous.
L'église qui est au Cameroun organise le 29 avril aux Cascades de Fundi un grand dîner de charité. Le 6 mai, une messe solennelle sera dite à la basilique Marie-Reine des Apôtres en Volier.
Le peu qu'on a, si on le donne, une fois que nous nous mettons tous ensemble, nous réussirons à réaliser ce projet.
When you meet talent, you say, so this is a talented guy, and apparently he doesn't only sing, he doesn't only play the guitar, he doesn't only do what you're saying, he also paints. He's into fine art, and hopefully with the help of our producer we'll be having a snapshot or an eye shot, iPhone, whichever you want. You know, sometimes you're baffled by talent. Damien Blue, thank you for coming on Hello Cameroon.
Thank you for having me.
How are you?
I'm okay, thank you.
Now, can you just manage to situate us on how you come to be into different things at the same time and doing so well in all of them?
Actually, I grew up as a kid close to nature.
All right.
And there's this sounds that I get from when the wind blows on the trees, I hear music.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my close friend Kenneth. If he's watching right now, he can testify. We would make sounds to communicate with each other when we went hunting with our catapults. Most of the times we come back without shooting a bird, but it was always fun.
All right.
And we'll communicate with each other. So without even using words, like we'll make sound, and he will respond from the other side. And we know that you're fine. And if he makes a funny sound, then you know that something is going wrong with him or something. Then you have to check on your friend. So this is how I got inspired from the bass. But then exposing myself to the world, I got to listen to more music from artists. I was like, okay, this is so sweet. And I listened to Richard Kings. I listened to Richard Bonnard. I listened to Montu Valdo. I actually watched him perform at the French Cultural Center. And he really inspires me. And Lukwa Kanza and other artists too. So this is how it's happening right now.
You're actually naming artists whom I hold very dear and whom I have a lot of respect for. Richard Kings, if you're watching us, good morning to you, bro. And talking about Richard Kings, you are from the same part of town like him. Kumbo boys, eh? Kumbo, okay, Iraniapa.
Irania.
Yeah. a little bit of flattery, so the guy tells us everything about himself. So tell me about the singing career, though. We'll start with that. How you say you have some songs on the market and you're preparing something this year.
Yes, actually there's an album that we did, though I would say we didn't mass produce this album, but there are copies out there and it's been published and people can consume it. And this is like the artist funding an album for the people, because I just noticed even somebody cannot buy, you can, there's always a means to get my music. If you get on Facebook, you get Damien Blue, you will make me there.
I was
It is
on
helping.
YouTube and I saw a wonderful song you did on YouTube. Very clean message too. I couldn't get all the messages, but a few words I could grab. Because you were singing in Lamsa, is that so? Do
Yes,
you want to tell me about that song in case somebody is checking it out right now?
Yes, Bunadu, it's a song that it's an inspirational song. It's a cry about every path in life has a successful end. They would say there's always a pot of gold at the end of the tunnel. You'll find gold. And Bunadu expresses this lifeline, how a kid started from childhood different, changed at a certain point, and then came back to her senses and realized her dreams.
Okay.
You see, and this is basically what has been there. And most of my songs, this is how it goes. And I'm using a lot of languages to fuse this together.
When you were singing a while ago, I could get a taste of Lamsa, a taste of Yaoundé or Iwondo, I don't know which one, a taste of Douala.
Yes.
Do you actually speak them or you sing them? Because you could actually just be singing them.
Most of them, the basics, I will understand.
Okay.
And I think music, it's more broad.
I'm trying to grab one of my colleagues, Myra Abenando, to come sit here and let's have a talk with you. Just a little bit of chat before some guy who is called Bill Titi comes in with the jobs. I want to get Myra here because you are very talented in different things. And I'm hoping that Myra will be able to say a word or two about what you just listened to. You watch him play, right?
Yeah, I cannot talk anymore. I actually had to leave the other side and come and look at him like, was this the guy
is he doing this
who
for
sat
real?
there in the morning? And it's just so big, it's huge, it's crazy, it's wild. Like, I feel like pounding it in the mortar right now.
Oh,
you could, because it only gets better. But he's not only into singing, he says he does painting as well. Do you want to tell us a bit more about your fine arts talent?
Yes, please. It's my fine art. It's really been part of me.
Okay.
Music and artists, they're like brothers and sisters. And like you see my guitar, this is my design.
You have really created your guitar.
I do it myself. And a lot of things I do them myself.
All right.
And it's my paintings, they are more of my music. If you listen to my paintings and watch stare at a piece of my art, it's going to speak to you.
They are together, connected.
Yes, they are connected.
Mara, would you like to have a little bit more of what he sings?
Oh,
Can I treat you to that?
It's a big YES. I would
Please,
love to.
treat us to something else.
Come you know. Come you know. Come you know. Oh, come you know.
Should he go on and on?
Traditional, folkloric, inspirational.
You could be sitting somewhere in Banso in a village and
cleaning,
I know.
rain arresting. Oh my gosh.
So in fact, Damien Blue, thank you so much for being on the program today. But what's your agenda? What's your schedule looking like in 2017?
2017, actually, I've engaged with the Melting Edge Band. It's a collective, it's a group of young artists like like myself, and we are doing concerts. And this concert, we are funding them ourselves with our small money that we have.
All right.
And we do it almost on zero gate fee.
Okay.
But if you come in for our concert, you can support us in any way to see that we together, because collectiveness is great, and we rise up to our challenges, and we meet them, and this is what has been going on. Like last week, we had a concert at the FIA Cultural Center, and now we are organizing another concert too.
I don't know about Myra, but I'm booking already for your next concert.
You're still booking, but I'm sitting in the hall already.
So, just one last question before you go, though. You already said you're inspired by nature, right? Things that are natural. But what influences you? What are those things that influence Damien Blue?
Influence really, it comes from artists that I listen to.
Okay.
They really influence my growth. Like I said, Richard King, Richard Bonner, Luca Kandra, Montevaldo, Heaven Gable. I was opportunity to actually work with him, and
that's a powerful guy too.
Thank you. So, and I've met Evan Afuakom, his dad, and these people, they really, there's more. The list it won't end if I keep naming them, but this has brought me a long way, and
I'll tell you this: you have. Everybody in the team today is amazed, positively amazed at you. You are a talent, and I hope you go places. Myra, maybe you want to say his bye-bye words for me, because I'm lost of words. I don't know what to say to Damien Blue. He's just so awesome.
Like, this is somebody we must have on Bon Weekend.
So you're getting a second invitation to come sing for the ladies on Bon Weekend.
Yeah.
You will have two beauties talking to you.
And you're staying the whole show 2 hours. Like, I don't know. It's
so come
crazy.
prepared, take some calcium, vitamin C, and all the vitamins so you don't collapse. Because we will give it to you. So thank you so much, Damien Blue. In a short while, we'll be having a man who wears a hat and who tells you about the job opportunities that you have around town. But before that, though, let's go far up north. Henry Tato is talking to us about a cultural festival, the Koduma Cultural Festival. Please let's discover.
The famous political leader and civil rights activist Marcus Garvey says a people without the knowledge of their history, origin, and culture are like a tree without roots. That can be true for some people, but not with the Musees. The Musees that are found in Cameroon, Chad, and Nigeria cherish their origin and culture. That is why they organize their international cultural festival known as Koduma yearly.
What is the meaning of Koduma?
Thank you very much for the question. And from CRTV, it's very important that CRTV came for this Kodoma 10th edition. Kodoma is in fact the traditional initiation, the traditional feast. Generally at the end of the rainy season, at the time of harvest, we organize the Kodoma in order to have everybody to dance, to be happy, and also to thank God and all gods we have, in order to tell them that we are happy for that, for what has happened, and also for the rainy season. That is the traditional Kodoma. Now we have organized it in such a way that it could be modernized and include every traditional dance. That's why we gave the name of Kodama, because it is the most popular one. Okay? And that's why we organize it and we transform it and taking away the initial aspect of the Kodama.
With the 9th edition taking place in Chad in 2014, the 10th edition had to wait for 3 years because the far north region that was supposed to host the festival was considered insecure because of the Boko Haram set. Yet, when it finally took off again, it recommenced with a plethora of novelties.
The innovation we introduced is that it took us 3 years, as you know, because of the problem of insecurity. Therefore, we have decided to postpone it. Now we resume it, and everybody is happy. And many people came more than the usual time. And the initiation, we want to transform the Kodoma, not only a dance ceremony, but it should be something which could gather Mosei and other tribes and other people in order to transform it in an instrument of development. That what we have been explaining over the last two days. Even we had a conference there whereby we explained to those people, to the youth, to the young people, that Kodoma should not only be a dance ceremony. We have to use the Kodoma because it helps us to be conscious of our power and to use it to help the development of this area. In the conference, we explain what is a Kodoma and the link between Kodoma, the festival, and the development. How it could help people to develop themselves and develop the country. And the second element we discuss, we inform the people that the government of Cameroon has put in place many projects in order to help the development of each area of Cameroon.
Like what projects?
Yeah, there are many projects, at least 5. Furnish is a youth, is for the youth people, young people. Therefore, the president said that in 103 billion in 3 years. Therefore, the first year is this year. Therefore, it will be 35 billion. And next year, 35 and so on. Therefore, people should organize themselves in order to take advantage and use it as a help.
Normal activities like singing, dancing, acting, modeling was also part of the 2017 edition of the Cultural Festival for the Musees. These 6 girls, all from Cameroon, came to Kodoma 2017 looking for one thing, Miss Kodoma. Yet, only one was to be crowned Miss, and it was this teenager, Roselyne Francois Mijivia. Yet, it was not only Mijivia who stole the show, but the dancing styles of some delegations.
This is a dance group called Dalanga, and Dalanga is from Chad. And as you can see, they're using their legs, they're using their energy to do this, and they're doing it with a lot of joy. And that is the message they're passing across to us here. They have joy because it's a time when it is a feast, and they're here just to show us that they're very happy with the harvest, because they're from a time of famine. When there's no harvest, there is famine. And here, they're very happy because they have a lot of food, they have a lot to eat, and they have everything at their place because it's a time of harvest. And that ties with the theme, it ties with the message that Kodoma is passing across here. Kodoma is passing across a message that is a feast of harvest, it's a feast of joy, it's a feast that brings people together, and it has brought the Chadians and the Cameroonians and the Nigerians together, 3 countries in one. Kodoma 2017, it is here and it's here again.
Of harvest and joy. Where there is joy, there is CRTV and there is Hello Cameroon. Henry Tato, thank you so much for being our eyes and our ears at the Kodoma Festival this year. And of course, next year we'll be there. You can count on us. Let's talk, let's get jobs. Bill Titi, he's here without the hats. I don't know what happened. Beauty, what happened? The wind blew off your hat?
The wind
I
can
know
never.
the rains
I'm not
are
just
coming.
wearing any kind of hat. The wind can never blow my hat. It's just that I've gone on break for a while. I had to
On break
consult my
for the hat.
ancestors. The hat has gone back for some more preparation. When I'll have it the next time.
It was a prepared hat.
It's not an easy hat. That's why I told you that the wind cannot blow it out. I was given that hat was handed to me by my grandfather. So the next time I come with you, we have a feather of a cock on it. You know that I've grown from.
Kitty, give us jobs.
Don't worry. Rita knows what I'm talking about. She's been to my village. Okay, good morning. We're starting with the International Center for AIDS Care and Programs. That's ICAP, Cameroon. That needs a senior technical advisor. Here you have to work with their programs in the HIV and AIDS prevention and, of course, sensitization. You need to have a medical degree. That's an advanced university degree in public health or in a domain related to healthcare. You can as well have a degree in social science, but have experience working in that domain, which of course you have to prove. For the those aspiring to apply, you need to have, to be able to travel, because the vacancy comes with a request for mobility. Suitable applicants should send their CVs and their cover letters to the email address you find on the screen. The first, which is icapcameroon.office@gmail.com, or icap-hr-colombia.edu. Those are the two emails you can send to any of them. That's your CV and your letter addressed to ICAP for the vacancy of AIDS programming and care treatment coordinator. That's technical advisor in the domain. Now we go to the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. Here they're needing the project control officer to work in Yaoundé. You're going to monitor the implementation of their programs from Yaoundé down to the grassroots, where they are effectively carrying out their support programs in favor of refugees. You must have a university degree in accounting, finance, business management, or business administration, or in economics to be eligible to apply for the job. To get details and on how to apply, just go to your search engine and check. Find this out. Just type www.United Nations High Commission for Refugees, which is abbreviated as UNHCR-Project Control Officer Yaoundé /how to apply. So just follow the second link you have on the screen for this vacancy from the United Nations High Commission for Refugees, who are looking for a project control officer to work in Yaoundé. You get all of that on the screen, and all what you need, you just follow the steps, you apply online, and you submit your application. We go to this other one. The International Institute for Tropical Agriculture is recruiting a station administrator to work in Yaoundé. They are working in the domain of food production. They're working with farmers to fight against hunger and malnutrition. So you will be working with them in that domain. They're looking, like I say, looking for a station administrator to work in Yaoundé. You need to have a minimum of university degree. That's at least a bachelor's degree with 3 years of work experience in the domain of agriculture. To get more on this, you go to their website, which is www.iita.gov. www.iita.gov. It gives you, it opens the webpage of the institution, or let's say the international NGO, and get all the vacancies available, and especially this one, which has to do with a station administrator in Cameroon. And now, if you want to apply, sending your documents through their email, you have it on the third column where you have email contacts. You send your curriculum vitae, you send a motivation letter, you send copies of academic certificates, and of course, proof of work experience. You send to the email address you find on the screen, which is http://www.iita.org/about/jobs. Follow that, you get it. Deadline is April 28th, so you have this week running to apply. Now, we end with the international, that's the ICT University, that's Information and Communication Technology University in Cameroon, that's offering scholarships for those who've done computer sciences, for candidates interested in obtaining PhD in Information and Communication Technologies. Interested candidates should, have master's degree in the domain. It should be computer science, information and communication technology, management of information systems, or information technology. So if you have a master's in any of those 3 domains or 4 domains, you can apply for a PhD with the ICT University or the Columbia University in Cameroon. They are in Bastos in Yaoundé. Now, the documents are an application letter addressed to the president of ICT University, the transcripts to show your results at the master's level, a thesis that you've carried out, and of course, your curriculum vitae. You send it to the email address you find on the screen, the last one, which is admin.ictuniversity.org. admin.ictuniversity.org. Those are the vacancies we have for you today. Deadline here is May 30. So
well,
you have to come back to that.
Beauty,
Good.
thank you for coming.
You're welcome, Pucci.
Because I love you very much, it's going to be 1.
Yes.
2.
Yes.
I know somebody's screaming in the background. Finish the bananas, obesity.
Thank you.
Have a beautiful day.
Thank you, Pucci.
I'm going to zip straight to what's coming up on the CRTV and some of the appointments we want you to keep. And Ruth NJ is sitting just next to me to tell you about some of the highlights on the CRTV. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm loving your nails, but of course, this is not about your nails. Tell me about what's coming up on the CRTV.
What's up with the CRTV today, Tuesday at 10:30? You know what women do in Salon de Coiffure, right? You just talked about my nails.
Don't kill the, yes.
I don't, and this. Find out at 10:30 a.m. Just tune in to CRTV, and you want to find out what women do in the salon. And then at 11 a.m. you have Follow Me, and Follow Me, they are talking about finding happiness in a blended family. I believe happiness is in here, so you don't need to be in a separated family, or you don't need to be in a single family, or it doesn't have to be monogamy for you to be happy. So, Bird, I'm not saying the contrary to what they are discussing. But the guest today is Giulia Bocelli. It sounds Italian, right? And then we have Tatiana Matip. It's not Joel Matip, I beg your pardon. And Pascaline Moite. And then Chef Javier, of course. Is on Follow Me today with Elena Bisson and Priscilla Nguafon. And then at 12:30, if you didn't catch up with Ebune on Sunday, you need to catch up with him today at 12:30. That is Globe Watch, and he's talking about the 100 days of Donald Trump. You know, in power. A lot of people thought Donald Trump wasn't going to be the president of the United States of America, but he's 100 years and more. And his guest is Professor Tuda Ebode, and he's a geopolitical scientist. And
Ruth, I need to put a stop there for you because I want to quickly hear what Mercy Ashu has to say before we zip out of the studio. Thank you, Joe. But of course, please stay on with the CRTV to discover there's a lot more that you would love. Mercy, good morning.
Good morning, Pucci.
How are you?
I'm good.
Besides the beautiful dress that you have on.
I'm liking your jewelry as well. No, I'm just here to talk about family life. And yesterday I was going through some images of sitcoms that you and I believe, used to watch in the 80s and in the 90s. I'm talking about.
Did you go through Fresh
like,
Prince of Bel-Air?
Of course.
Family Matters?
Of course. The Cosby Show.
Cosby Show.
Yeah, I want to say that, Pucci, those were some of the series that kept us sitting on our couch for 30 minutes at least without moving. And it was good.
And in family.
Yeah, it was good at the time because the Cosby Show, for example, was one of those sitcoms where when you sit back, you get a picture of what family life is like for the black race in black America. It demonstrated, or it portrayed a kind of image for us to see how life is within the family unit. But I don't know if that exists today in our communities, because we are living in a fast-paced economy, microwave, where mama comes in and everybody's
You
moving
need to
fast.
also look at the kind of TV moments that we have today, and maybe that could also
It's
tell.
so full of romance.
Yes,
I really
and
wonder what we
romance
really
is a
learn
very
from
good
that.
word
It's good,
for what's
yeah.
happening, because but Mercy, Ashu, thank you so much. This is where we say bye-bye on Hello Cameroon today. Ladies, thank you for coming to wrap it off with me here. We'll be back again on Thursday, the whole team to come and keep you entertained and help you start the day on the good food. As for Pucci, I'll meet you on Thursday at 6 a.m. I'll be saying good morning to you. Bye-bye.
Dites-nous